so afraid of?
This is
SPTV.
Welcome back, everybody, for some more SPTV Monday Night Live. We have two returning guests and one new guest this evening. Let's start with the new guest, bottom left-hand corner, Adam Pyers. How's it going, Adam?
Hello, doing good.
Let me just show everyone real quick, remind everyone, any longtime viewers of the channel, you and I did an interview, a 3.5-hour beast.
Yes, sir.
10 months ago, just around when I started uploading every day. We didn't even put chapter breaks in on this thing. I can't believe anybody watched it. Not only that, it's almost at 100,000 views.
It's pretty insane.
Probably because they had to keep coming back to finish watching the thing. Anyway, it's a great interview for anyone who hasn't seen it. By the way, the title of the interview, Adam Pyers, his journey into Scientology, the Celebrity Center, the Navy, and out of Scientology. You are one of the few people, one of the few Scientologists who joined the military.
Yeah.
And anyway, we talk a lot about that in the interview. Mm-hmm. Of course, on the top right-hand corner, we have Doug Kramer from Dazed But Not Confused. And on the bottom right, we have Nora Ames from Oh No Nora. I did create the little banners for everyone. So for Adam, you want to subscribe to Adam's YouTube channel is Adam the Angler. For Doug, we have Doug on YouTube, Dazed But Not Confused. Doug, I searched YouTube today for just at DBNC, and it gave me a whole bunch of nonsense in the search results. So some people might have to actually just search the whole thing, Dazed But Not Confused. And then, oh my God, where's Oh No Nora? What? My banner
usual,
for Oh No.
The gay is left out. It's Pride
Oh,
Month.
Jesus.
This is a hate
Jesus.
crime, Aaron.
Hold on.
That's right. It might have been suppressed on my YouTube.
Subscribe to Nora.
And the comments are going to start flying in that we're arguing already, Aaron. Everyone, just know that Aaron and I have literally known each other for almost 30 years. We are never arguing. I just want to get that disclaimer out at the beginning of the live. Aaron and I are never arguing. We literally love each other so much, like brother and sister, no matter what Aaron's facial expression looks like at any point while I'm talking. We love each other. Moving on.
Okay, so let's see. Subscribe to Nora on YouTube at Oh No Nora.
And
That's
I have Mike with us. He's right here.
Oh, nice. You want to
say
Mike? A couple of words?
I got Bubble Mike right here.
There you go. Yes, let me just since we are doing SPTV, let me do a little reminder and share this little screen right here. Reminder, everyone, SPTV OG Mike Rinder is getting treatment for some advanced stage cancer. We've done some videos about it. We've done some fundraising for the treatment. I just wanted to remind everybody they can go to Mike Rinder's blog. There's a donate button at the top. And I'm only going to share public information that Mike and Chrissy themselves have already made public. And they haven't given any updates other than the fact that they were able to get Mike started on the treatment. Remember, these treatments tend to make you feel shittier before they make you feel better. That's just kind of the nature of these treatments. So we shouldn't be expecting some magical turnaround. But when there is an update to be given, and they give it, I'll certainly help spread that word. So what's going on in the world of Scientology this week, you guys? I know what I wanted to talk about. I did a video earlier today about Tom Cruise and about David Miscavige treating Tom Cruise as someone who he sort of has to put on a show for, has to convince Tom that things are better than they really are. And Dave does seem, there's many examples I can think of where little tiny Captain Dave does seem to treat Tom as someone he needs to impress instead of someone that he wants to bring into the fold and really see the nitty-gritty and, as I like to say, see how the sausage is made. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. What do you guys think from your own perspectives, your own experience? What do you think Tom knows and what do you think Tom doesn't know? Go ahead.
I think it's twofold. I think that there's a public face to what Tom is shown and what the other SEERG members think that Tom knows. And I think that probably privately, Dave gives him a top secret briefing about other things, right? Like, for example, whenever Tom would come to Celebrity Center, often Dave would be there in tandem. So it'd be like a dual big deal type situation. We'd have to white glove top to bottom because Tom was coming in town, and that meant probably Dave would be somewhere following close behind, or nearby, or multiple RTC reps would be there, or something to report on Tom's experience.
Something just happened to your mic.
Something happened to my mic.
Oh, that sounds better.
That's better. Okay, I will get very close and get very serious. So in those cases, it would be like a whole, shitstorm for us at CC, where it would be really bad for us, like 2 or 3 days cleaning and all of that kind of stuff. For him to literally do a 5-minute walkthrough and just point at things and be like, yes, yay. Or if he was staying for quite a while, like when he was on the PSSP course, that was a nightmare. Because we had like personal.
Guys, is it just me or is there something wrong with Nora's mic?
Nora, it
That's
might be
like
the
coming out a
air
little
conditioner if that's yours. That's running.
I don't
in the
have an
background.
AC on.
Who's
That's
got
not
the
me.
AC on? Then that's not you. Maybe
It's not
just
me.
a little bit closer to the mic. I don't know why. Maybe it's picking up an alternate
I
signal
don't
or
know.
something.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of cutting out or something. Like
It's
there's a
not.
limited.
I don't know. I hear myself great. I don't
There
know.
you go. I mean, sounds
Maybe
good
the
right
internet
now.
connection.
Yeah.
I will
Yes.
just stay here forever. So yeah, that's how that would go. But then oftentimes, like when he had to go to Gold, just with Nicole, they planted that whole field of tulips, just so in case he wanted to run through the tulips with Nicole, they planted those, and that took like 2 weeks, and then he didn't even look at them. So like ridiculous things. But like it's touted that they're best friends. They go to the races. They go do all this other stuff, and I'm sure there's moments where Dave has gone to his Telluride home and all that other stuff to give him the briefing because he is the most dedicated Scientologist on the planet and has said, things to him, in his public speeches, yada, yada, where it indicates that he has some sort of inside knowledge of what's happening in Scientology, or he thinks he does, of what the operation is inside the church, why it's so urgent that we get these things done. So I don't know, if he's being shown some special, SEERG only bulletins that public aren't shown. Do you know what I mean? Which we've seen as SEERG members, Aaron, some, SEERG only, special things that tell you, the whole world's going to blow up tomorrow if we don't, get all the SP, psychiatrists handled in 10 minutes, kind of BS type of things. So I'm sure he's shown those things, whereas regular public aren't privy. So that makes him extra special.
What do you guys think? Do you think Tom knows the true size of Scientology or the true direction of the stats? Do you think Dave is sharing those kind of details with him?
I highly doubt it. I'm sure he just sees what everyone else sees at the events. These huge, bolsterous numbers that are obviously fabricated lies. That would be my guess, anyways.
What do you think, Doug? And actually, now that I think about it, it would be almost inconceivable for Tom to ask Dave a question that would imply Tom thought the numbers in the events were false. Like if Tom couldn't go to Dave and be like, "What's the real number, Dave? Oh, tell me," because he couldn't do that.
No, he'd be like label the SP like right away or something. Probably not that, but I'm sure he'd be sent to get a sec check or something.
Wouldn't that be funny if Dave and Tom had a little falling out, had a little spat, and Tom was ordered to sec checking, and Dave was like, actually, do you remember? Marty Rathman even told this story that when he was sent to go sec check Tom, I guess in the Eyes Wide Shut era, the EP was going to be considered whether Tom called Dave.
And that's because he was leaving Scientology, for Nicole. That was after the Vanity Fair article came out. And instead of telling the world Scientology was the greatest thing since sliced bread, he said, if you want to know about Scientology, read a book. And that was all he said about Scientology in that article. He refused to discuss it. And so Tommy Davis held that article up like, he's promoting books, y'all, because he hadn't read the article. So he thought, oh, he's promoting LRH books. And then other people read the article and they were like, no, dum-dum. He's refusing to talk about Scientology. He's basically leaving the church. And then RTC went into action and sent Marty to go audit him. And that's when Nicole got found out as she's pulling him away from the church because she was like, uh-oh, hot dog, this shit's a cult. Get this guy out of here and get our kids out of here before shit hits the fan, because she knew. And then that was when Operation Get This Bitch Out of the House started. I'm sure that's what it was called, maybe. But
Probably what Dave changed it to. Operation Suck My Dick on Hollywood Boulevard or something.
Oh my God.
come on now.
Oh my
He's
God.
probably actually changed those, Nora, to that. Why not? He's just
I don't
probably
know.
crazier
I
and
mean,
crazier.
we've all seen the picture of Nicole as she exited the divorce proceedings when she finally got divorced from Tom, and she's like dancing. Yeah. Like,
I've always wondered
freedom.
if that was real or if someone just
I know
needs
people
to-
say that's the
Oh,
picture
wouldn't
of
you
her.
be?
I don't think that's actually the picture of her from them, because she lost her kids in that divorce.
That's true.
And so
signed an NDA.
I don't think that that's the picture of her in that moment. I wouldn't be dancing like that if I lost my children.
Yeah. Do you guys think her kids actually disconnected from her? Because I've always said I don't believe they did.
Yes.
If they disconnected from her, I just don't believe that she would have kept her mouth shut about Scientology all these years.
She
I think
signed
she
an
did it in
NDA,
a hope
for
that she
sure.
was going to get her kids back, because as a mom, you will do anything to get your kids back. And I think she never spoke of it again, thinking they will come back to me one day. As a mom,
Wow.
I 100% believe that. And I think she thought, if I toe the line, Tom will bring them back to me if I'm a good girl.
Have
If
you
I
been
do
under
the
the
right
impression, Doug, that they actually, I mean, I'm just like your impression over the years. Have you been under the impression that her kids actually disconnected from her, or that they just treated her as like
Yeah, I do.
fair
'cause-
roads, fair weather?
No,
type
I
of
think
whatever?
Tom Cruise follows policy to the letter. And like Nora said, and we were talking about earlier, he's kept in that Truman Show, literally the Truman Show, where his reality is managed by Dave. Like we were talking about, to hoorah the events, to bring him onto the free wins, to frickin', you saw what they did by sending Rathbun in, to control, to get him away from Kidman. I think he is kept in the dark. Nora has the best intel in you, because you guys were on staff behind the scenes, but I ran with the B and C level actors. So even though they weren't treated like Tom, nowhere near it, they were we were housed, man. We were, we went to all the events and everything, but we got to go to the special floors. I never made it to the president's office. I was just about, I got invited and then I woke up the next day basically. But I ran with all these people, and they're kept even more closeted. This is why if you want to get in the Masterson thing or something, they're really kept housed, Aaron. And at Tom Cruise's level, man, he stage manages everything, down from the staff that he has to what he sees. And I have no idea if even Masterson came onto his radar. I'd be curious to be a fly on the wall to see how they'd handle that. But he's definitely kept the most insulated. And that's why Dave puts on these events for him, man, to keep him satisfied. He's the most valuable Scientologist. And so he's going to be stage managed like a mofo in the Truman Show, man.
Yeah. But help me understand this, guys. I know we've heard Marty Rathbun tell the story that Connor and Isabella were told that Nicole is an SP, because they said that. They said, oh, our mom's an SP. But even at that time, they hadn't disconnected from her. And my question is this, though. What suppressive act did Nicole Kidman commit that would be warranted being declared a suppressive person or being disconnected from? She's never spoken negatively about Scientology. She's never said one bad word about Tom Cruise or Scientology. What in the hell are we to believe she was declared and disconnected for?
Because she was trying to get Tom to leave.
Oh, I was going to say.
During that
don't know what
Eyes Wide
happened
Shut
behind
era,
scenes.
she was literally
That's right.
pulling him away from Scientology. That's it.
That's right. That's right. And she stopped her
And if
OT
you look
too.
at his actions at that time, he wasn't promoting, he wasn't talking to Dave, he wasn't doing any he wasn't actively doing or promoting Scientology. He was being a dad, and he was just focusing on movies. He was like living a life. Oh my God.
I know.
Like,
So her suppressive act was essentially not really wanting to continue to be a Scientologist.
yeah, she was OT. She went OT. She got through
She finished
OT5.
OT2. She stopped at OT2. She
Was
never
it
even did.
OT2?
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even know
also
she got
part of
involved
it,
with
by
that.
the way, because she was becoming disaffected with Scientology. I don't know what she would.
I thought
would
she got
or
to
would not have said.
OT5, but maybe
No.
I'm totally wrong.
And nobody ever stops at OT2. I mean, you're
Yeah,
gonna not
it's
get the OT3 secret. So she was becoming disaffected, I believe.
Well, she
Plus
got to
exactly what
OT2 and
Nora
was
said.
like, "This is some BS." Look, so good for her. She didn't even have to do OT3.
Exactly. She's probably
too
just doing it
smart.
because Tom was pushing it on her. I don't think she was not a dedicated full-on Scientologist like her husband.
She was trying, though. I mean, to get all the way to the OT levels, you have to go through massive SAC checks to get up there. She made it through clear. You know,
They
she was
fast-tracked her, though,
trying.
Nora. She got up there
Well,
in
they
like a
did.
freaking year because, like a celebrity, they absolutely. Because Laura,
Well,
I had
yeah.
to pay like endless money, and they would kept me on the get grade 4s like $100,000 or something.
She paid.
But Nicole,
she paid her
oh,
money.
she did, but they moved her up there in like a
Yeah.
year. She literally went from the bottom to OT2 in about a year.
But you
Just
can
crazy.
do that if you're doing nothing but auditing, though, Doug.
True.
If
That's a
you're just
good
doing
point.
nothing but auditing and you're in there full time, which is she had a dedicated auditor, and you're not doing
Yeah.
anything else, absolutely you can.
Yeah.
Because they advertise that.
That's true. And 1 in a million can do it if you have the money. And like you said, you have all day to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it through grade 3 in a month going full time.
See?
What? Are you guys kidding me,
being a
man?
survivor
I
on
got
that
reamed
information.
at the mission.
Doug, can I? But also, you have. There's certain criteria. Well, yeah, their criteria is you have to be, all these things, and if they want to milk you for a lot too, they're gonna throw in a lot of other things for you.
I
So.
only found that afterwards. Nora, I did the LX list. I did the int rundown
Oh,
a million
honey.
times. They put me through everything. And they wouldn't let me go to AO to go do the rest of the levels. They
Yeah.
squeezed as much money out of my family as they possibly could. And
Yeah.
I only discovered that not too long ago. I
Yeah.
trusted them, man. I thought they
Mhm.
did things standardly. You know?
Well, that was standard. They were just,
That's a
they
good
wanted you
point.
to.
Squeeze
yeah.
as much money out as you can.
Yeah, of course.
The irony was
She's
lost
taking
on me,
you
though,
on
Nora.
that.
Holy shit, man. It just sucks learning all this shit as the layers come off.
All right. Well, before we get into answering the questions portion of the video, Adam, for those who didn't already watch our 3.5-hour extravaganza interview almost a year ago, give everyone the nutshell version of your Scientology experience, when you got in, what you did, kind of just a short version. And by the way, your mic seems a little funky.
What do you mean? How so? It's
just
a little far
doesn't-
away. I can move it closer maybe, but I'm just trying to keep it out of the camera.
Aaron, people are going to scream at you in the comments if you give him any shit about his mic. He's
Why?
he's a little bit, just because they do. I don't know. They pick up on anything.
Yeah.
I think he's saying
Just
it's a
bring
little
your
bit
mic closer.
echoey.
It's all right.
Adam,
hang on.
Adam,
Move
you're
it
trying to keep your mic out of the camera?
Yeah.
Because it's
That's
like
very
Move it
un-
closer,
that's
'cause
very
I'm also trying to see
un-YouTubey.
you guys at the same time. So.
By the way, so your screen is nowhere near your camera?
Well, I have my camera on top of one of my screens. I have 2 screens, and I got the camera on one of these, or the microphone on
All
one
right,
of
so
these
just
things.
for the hell of it, just pull
Yeah.
that mic right close to your face and let's see what it sounds like.
All right, how's this? Is that better?
Oh, wow, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Woo! Okay.
The thing is, though, and I can't really see you. Let me.
But you don't have to see us. We can
I'm trying to
see
keep
you.
it open out of the way so I can see my screen. That's the thing.
I'd rather hear you.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, yeah. So I got involved in 2005. Found out about it from reading a Reader's Digest with Tom Cruise in it, and
there you go.
joined the Navy. A couple of years after, I didn't get really that involved. Did the Navy for 4 years. Got out of the Navy, and then I was having a hard time readjusting basically to civilian life, and got back into Scientology and moved out to LA and attended CC and made it up to finishing grade 3. I started grade 4 and then ran out of money and got out. So that's the summary.
Aaron, would you mind if I ask Greg one quick question? I just have to know. Would you mind? I don't want to step over you, man. I just have to know.
No, of course.
'cause
Go ahead.
My dad was in the Navy, and I often wondered if that had to do because, the Sea Org mimics the Navy, and so much of Scientology is like paramilitary. Was that part of why you, was that attractive to you, or was that even a part of it when you were at CC and you got, thrown in?
Actually, for me, I mean, the whole time I was there, like, for me, I kind of, in hindsight, I look at it as I was, like, giving it an honest try, but I was always skeptical because I didn't grow up in it. I grew up Catholic. So, the whole, like, Navy aspect actually kind of was a little off-putting for me because,
Interesting.
for me, I was actually a third-class petty officer.
Exactly, I see.
And when I would see someone with PO1 or CPO, and I'd be like, you're not a chief. You're not a first-class petty. You don't know what it takes to earn that rank, like in the real world, in the actual military. So that was a little off-putting to me. But I was always just a nice guy when when it would come up, because sometimes I would see it on a Sea Org member's name tag or something, like, oh, Petty Officer First Class, oh, how do you know that? Were you in the Sea Org? And it's like, no, I was in the actual Navy.
Wow, I would have been pissed,
He wasn't
bro.
in the fake
Wow.
space Navy, guys. He was in the
Yeah,
real
he
Navy.
actually did the real thing.
Yeah.
Wow, you must have been a nice guy, because that would really piss me off.
I mean, I definitely one of those people that will withhold my judgment sometimes, and maybe sometimes not. But yeah.
Wow.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's a good little intro for everyone. Let's jump into the comments. By the way, you guys can all see the comment feed, right? Okay, good. So if any of you guys are looking at the live chat, because there's the section that automatically stars the super chats, and we usually never even get to all the super chats. So I'm just going to focus on those. But if you guys see non-super chats that you want to address, star them, and it'll throw them into the comment feed, and then I can bring them up on screen. Okay.
Gotcha.
All righty, yo. Okay, Donna Cooper, just to say hello to Aaron. Thank you, Donna. Thank you very much. Elizabeth Marino. I know manipulative liars and David Miscavige's stories. Tom Cruise knowing about abuses, wanting to join the Sea Org, sound like similar BS. Maybe y'all never thought to question it. I don't know. Do you guys understand what this is asking?
Tom Cruise knowing about abuses, wanting to join the Sea Org sound like similar. Maybe we never thought to question it.
Question what?
Like joining the Sea Org. As a kid growing up, I questioned it all the time. However, it was much harder to not question. Like I never questioned the like the things like we were talking about. Does he question, like, would he question David on the stats and the like size of Scientology? I never questioned that because that I didn't have a way to do that. I mean, I grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s. So you guys have to recall, I don't know how old you are, Elizabeth, but there was no internets in the 80s and 90s. So we didn't have like a way to qualify these things in the same way that we do now with Google search and stuff like that. So when Scientology told us they were the fastest growing religion in the world, I took that as fact. And when they told me they had X number of members in the world, that was facts. In the same way that any other religion told me, all the good deeds that the Catholic religion was doing, I took that as fact too. And now we know, the Catholic religion has many dark sides and lots of stuff was going on. I was also a child, so I didn't have a lot of reasons to question those things. I had bad feelings about it. I've learned since to trust my gut, I think, about things that I wasn't as a kid. But I mean, Adam got in from a Reader's Digest article. So also the news and, reporters and things were only talking about the fluffy side of Scientology, except for the Time magazine article, which of course I read in high school, which I thought I was going to die after I read it. Because if you find out about OT stuff before you're OT, you could possibly die. And then of course, after I read it and I didn't die, my dad was like, so what do you think that means? Maybe you were OT in your last life. And then that fucked me up.
Are you kidding me?
So, wow. Oh my God. We do a whole live just about my father trying to convince me that I was an OT in my last lifetime. So yeah.
Oh my God. Me too. I'm with my father.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
They probably knew each other. So
yeah, undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly.
You don't know me and you were a brother and sister in the last life, Nora?
Yeah.
I had that cognition years ago. Okay.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm glad we found each other again, Doug.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron brought us together, who was also I knew in a past life. No, we're not supposed to discuss our case. Sorry, Aaron.
Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. I think we don't, I mean, as kids of the cult, you just grow up knowing Scientology is the best thing since sliced bread, basically. So that just, you wouldn't do that or you're suppressive.
Nice.
That's the simple answer.
So Adam, in the few years, how many years total would you say you spent in Scientology?
I mean, I guess we could say 2005 to 2018, so 13. But really, 2013 to 2018 was, when I was going to CC, so 5-6 years there.
So when you would see the events, the international events, whatever, any CC Gala events, whatever, did you suspect that the information that you were hearing was BS? Just be honest.
Kind of. It was like a.
Did you really? Because I never did.
Well, here's the thing. I was dating someone who worked for CCHR, and I started becoming skeptical of the numbers like halfway through, basically, because she told me that CCHR was lying about their numbers, and she knew just from working there. So then I started thinking like, man, if they're saying there's like 10 million members or 20 million, whatever the numbers were, I was like, why doesn't it seem like it's not more mainstream like other religions? You know, it's just odd to me. And the only thing you do see is just negative headlines, you know?
Right.
So I would say, yeah, I kind of believed him at first and then started to not believe it as more time went on.
Coolio. All right, Jerry Nodine, a.k.a. Sarasota Jerry. Hi, Aaron. Can you briefly discuss the concept of fair use on YouTube channels? Hashtag Team Mike. Well, I mean, this isn't a YouTube tutorial. Generally speaking, on YouTube, you can use whatever content you want as long as you're changing it, adding to it, altering it, commentary. You can't just steal material and rebroadcast it. You can, you have to repurpose it in some way. And that's fair use. And also, YouTube won't automatically strike you for using someone's content. The other person has to strike you. So you could sample content from someone else's video, and unless they're going to go out of their way to submit a complaint to YouTube about you, you're going to be fine. And even if they do submit a complaint about what you've done, as long as what you've done is with you've modified it, you've altered it, no one could ever mistake it for the original. That's actually a key point. Nobody could ever actually mistake what you've done for the original. So those are some of the highlights. So thank you for asking. Cassandra Reiners, Doug in the house. I've been binging his videos all weekend. Love this,
Cassandra.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hockey's books and storytellers. Can any or all of you recount the story of the mission holders being stripped of their earnings? Bobble Rinder is with me. This was before my time, guys. I'm assuming it was before your guys' time as well.
Are you guys talking about if this person's asking about the Davis mission situation back in NorCal? This is like late 70s. The only thing I know about that's where my dad got into Scientology. He was one of the Davis people. They were trying to basically form their own special unit of Scientology when things were getting solidified Scientologically, and they were not liking the direction that everything was going, essentially. And the GO was coming down hard. That's the Guardian's office, was coming down hard and slamming in ethics across the board. And basically, they were trying to go rogue. They were trying to be like, we are the real Scientology. We are pure Scientology. We're delivering real Scientology, and we're gonna keep it pure. And we don't want to do this class 5 org hullabaloo, and we don't like this new structure and you know, all this kind of stuff. And it was a whole network of missions in Northern California. They were very, very strong. They were actually the most profitable arm of Scientology at the time. And they basically went in, raided all these missions, and shut them down because they were just like gonna, in the eyes of the powers that be at the time, destroy the good works, you know, basically the real estate scam. And they weren't obeying the structure that was being put in place. Then, of course, right after that, Operation Snow White happened, and then the GO was shut down, and then the new structure came in from, you know, how they reorganized everything. And so they couldn't have this other rogue operation they were making a boatload of money, and they weren't tithing upwards to the management. That was the real problem, is they weren't sending their share of money upwards. And so they got shut down because they wanted to keep their money. Which they thought was appropriate. They're like, why are we sending you money? We're doing the work. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything that happened with the mission holders, I think, is just one of the prime examples of Scientology's complete, whether you're talking about Miscavige or any other Scientology manager, complete inability to think and plan long-term, and only handling or thinking of things in terms of present time emergencies. Yeah. Because what they did was to completely decimate the the organizations that were actually getting the most people into Scientology.
Yeah.
And
And
right?
people were
And
enthusiastic about it. They loved it.
people loved missions. They were these own little subcultures.
Yeah.
That's how I got in.
That's how you
That's
got in. What
almost-
mission?
Yeah, I started at a mission, Albany. New
What?
York.
In
Oh,
Albany.
really?
That's right. That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
We've
was-
never met anyone that got into a mission.
I haven't, because like, and Aaron, you make such a, whoever made that point, Nora, they are, it's like evil contains within it the seeds of its own destruction, because you know what? They can't help but shoot themselves in the foot. And if you try to understand it logically, it doesn't make sense. They're so short term, like you said, Aaron. And so they always do things where the public and even the Scientologists are going, what do you mean? But for David Miscavige, he has no future. Everything is an emergency now. As you guys know, being in the Sea Org, where every day your ass is on fire,
Exactly. Okay, the Wanderer says, I went to get vegan food for some guests at work and stumbled across Nora in the wild.
What?
I was the idiot staring. Oh, wow.
Where was that? I get stared at all the time. So forgive me for not knowing that was you staring at me. I would have said hello.
Well, so now I've got to wonder whether the staring occurred at the vegan location or on the way to and fro the vegan location. Were you hanging out at a vegan hotspot lately?
No, well, there's so many. Listen, I live in the Portland metro area. Like everywhere serves meat and vegan. So, it's just vegan. You could throw a dart and hit a vegan place here. I mean, literally. Now I need to know where I was. Shoot me an email and tell me where I was at, there's a lot of O's in the no. It's o.noo.nora@gmail. And tell me where I was. I want to know.
Nice. That's exciting.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Pam says, have named my pet Florida jumping spider Aaron. As like his namesake always makes me smile with love. So wait a second.
But I bet he has more hair than you.
What is a Florida jumping spider? I've never.
It doesn't sound good. It sounds like it'll jump on you. And also, wouldn't you want to name Scientology after the spider? More appropriate. What?
And why would the Florida jumping spider make you smile? I mean, some people have spiders as pets. I get it, but
what does this look like? Oh my God!
Are you looking?
It's like those little ones that do the little dance, and they're like, and they have like 4 eyes, and they're very hairy. So, like I said, it has more hair than you.
Oh my
God! I don't suppose we can see a picture of a Florida jumping spider.
Oh my God! It's amazing.
Are you looking at one, Nora?
I am.
Do you want to share it? Are you able to share it?
I will. Let me see.
You can toss it over to you, I think. Then you can share it.
Oh my God! It's amazing. I will.
Oh wow!
I will.
Do you know how to share it?
I'm gonna figure it out in just a second. I have to just pull up a picture and then just get just the picture. Let's see here.
I can do it. Florida.
Does the spider have a beard?
Look at the little face. It's a.
I
want to get one without
without
food in its mouth. Hang on.
Well, here.
I'm trying to find one where they're not eating. There it is.
All right.
It's adorable.
Oh, wow. It's actually a very aesthetic spider.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Look
That's
at it.
amazing looking. That is beautiful.
But you have to look at that one right there at the top of your screen. Go back. Right. The green one right there. The green.
On the left?
Gosh.
Yeah, on the top left. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
If I click on it, it'll open up a separate tab, so it won't work. So
yeah. All I'm saying
anyway,
is
that's great.
I never
cute.
thought
And
I
they
would
do, like,
think a spider was
dance.
cute. Oh my gosh.
They're like,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I just like the fact that the spider's got a name.
There you go.
Your name.
Jeff Hawkins in the chat. Now, guys, Jeff Hawkins, one of the few people who worked with David Miscavige at the international base for a long. In fact, guys, Jeff Hawkins was the one behind the Dianetics infomercials in the 80s.
Great commercial, Jefferson.
Was that a good? Did you guys like that bass line? Okay.
amazing.
Jeff Hawkins. I think that Dave probably bragged to Tom about how he had to beat up SPs at the int base to position himself as a tough guy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Tom knows enough about Dave's behavior to have emulated Dave's behavior with his personal staff and those who work for him. Like, he is a tyrant.
Good point.
You know,
Yeah, like
You
that
could
one
even
clip
hear
they
it in
came
that
out with him.
coronavirus thing. Remember when he was going bonkers on the
Oh,
people? That he
yeah.
sounded exactly like Miscavige.
oh yeah, when he was screaming at the top of his lungs at all those people, just
Yeah.
just trying to put a head on a pike there, and
Yep.
you'll be done, and you'll be fired, and you'll be fired. He was just
He sounded
going
like
on.
Dave. He was literally channeling Dave.
That was his best David Miscavige impersonation.
Mhm.
Okay, what is this? M Nancy 01. Hey, Aaron, are you and Mark and Claire not speaking anymore? I'm assuming you're asking that because of the Monday night live streams. No, you'll notice that Mark and Claire haven't even been uploading very much. So with Mike Rinder being out of commission until further notice, and Mark and Claire, they were doing a lot of family traveling. They were doing a special project for the Aftermath Foundation. No, it was just a good opportunity to highlight a bunch of other SPTV channels, and even people who don't have channels. I've been inviting people on. We still have to make this happen. Who are former Scientologists, who are the kind of people we'd all do interviews with, but who don't have their own channels. I want to get all those people involved in the Monday night live streams as well. So no, I mean, M Nancy 01, come on now. Okay, Annie Kurtz. I'm hearing an echo. Does someone not?
I don't have. I hear like a fan or something. Quiet
Maybe
as a
it could be
mouse
my
here.
computer.
Nora's good.
I'll turn my mic down. See if that's
No,
it.
It's fine.
no, but I mean, you're wearing headphones, Adam, right? Your
Yeah.
audio's not coming out of your speakers, right?
No, it's not at all. I mean, my
Okay.
computer's like right here with the fans going, but I don't know if y'all are hearing that.
The fan is
No,
what we
that's
hear,
okay.
I think.
I
But
don't
it-
see it lighting up though when I'm not
That's all right,
talking.
guys.
It's fine.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, L. Jane Clifton Rizal. How much money does David Miscavige have to put into that cult, or does he get paid? Does he make $50 a week? Miscavige makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I
least.
mean, I say hundreds because I'm accounting for inflation. Back in the 90s, he was paying himself a six-figure salary, about $100,000 is what I'm told. And he's the only person in the Sea organization who wasn't making $50 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain posts in the Sea Org where, depending on what's in fat at the time, you might be able to get cash bonuses of several $100s per week. Like if you're a registrar, if you're a fundraiser, if you're an IAS registrar, usually you can get book commissions that will amount to hundreds of dollars per week. But Claire Headley, worked under David Miscavige. Her post in RTC at one point was internal exec RTC. She answered to Marty Rathbun, who answered to David Miscavige. So she's one of the most senior people in Scientology at that point, and she was still only making $50 a week.
And don't forget the fact that he's one of the only. He is the only Sea Org member that lives in a mansion, which is on the base. And then the only other people that ever lived off base were the author services people and Bridge for a while, and then they went back to living in the Big Blue because they were like regs and stuff that were like traveling around selling books. But the author services people never lived like they were, because they were doing all the book sales and stuff. The
ASI
commissions.
people always had money. I wonder what their pay
Yeah.
situation was like. But I think it comes down to cash bonuses, not salaries.
Right.
Right.
And the regs too, for a while when they were getting like that crazy bonus structure on all the things they were selling, they were getting fat bonuses.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So David, there you go. L. Jane Clifton Rizal. Quentin Hubbard would like to know, I love airplanes. What's your guys' favorite airplane? I don't have a favorite airplane. Ones that don't crash is my favorite.
One that stay aloft for the whole flight.
Does anyone have a favorite airplane? A DC-9, perhaps?
I'm a fan of the F-35.
The F-35?
Yeah, just because it's our newest fighter.
I prefer Xenu's DC-9s because they travel faster than the speed of
Right.
light. Those are my favorite.
Right?
Right. Those are always
That's
reliable.
the
no
dumbest
matter
thing
what
in the
time
whole
era.
world.
No shit.
The DC-9.
Sparkling Dragon. Nora, tag this one. We love you. You're such a real down-to-earth, fun, amazing soul. I adore you.
Thank you. I didn't tag that, but thank you, whoever tagged that.
I tagged it.
I didn't. Thank you.
I tagged it.
Look at her
Um,
dog. Oh my gosh.
All right, Selena Michelle. All SPs in the house, hit the like button. Hi, everyone. Love my SPTV. Hey,
Aw,
we got
thank
about
you,
24.
Selena.
We got about 2,400 people watching right now. If you guys haven't hit that like button, it's easy, it's fast, it's free, and it actually helps out the stream. Believe it or not, it does seem to help with notifications. That's my theory, anyway. There's no hard evidence behind that.
And don't forget to like it on all the channels if you haven't.
Exactly. All right, we have Maria de Jesus Gutierrez, one of my favorite names in the chat, on a tour of Saint Monica's Catholic Church. The guide mentioned some celebrities who attended mass here, including Nicole and the kids.
Was that in Tennessee there?
Oh, but she has other kids though with Keith.
Correct. She has 2 kids with, her hubby.
With Keith Urban.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are convinced that that Isabella and Connor actually disconnected from her. They don't just do the good roads, good weather.
I would think good roads, good weather, but
all right.
So they
no,
she would say something.
No, absolutely, they disconnected because she was not invited to Isabella's wedding when Isabella got married in London.
But apparently neither was Tom. Tom wasn't there either.
This is also correct,
Really?
which was very scandalous. And she got married to a Scientologist.
Say it again.
Which was odd. She got married to a guy who was on staff at London Org.
Isabella did?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tom wasn't even invited. And then Connor was like joining staff at LA Org for a while. And then I don't know what happened with that. And then there was he did like a short stint in the Sea Org, and then he became a DJ.
I do feel that if Connor and Isabella were actually visiting Nicole, they would post photos of it.
There was some rumor that happened. I forget if it was like a year ago that Isabella had reached out to Nicole and they were talking again.
Yeah.
But listen, as a mom, I'm always hopeful that families will reunite. I honestly think that is 1,000,000% why Nicole has never said one bad thing about Tom, Scientology, her time in Scientology. She's just I don't talk about Bruno because she wants to get her kids back. And she considers the whole thing as if it didn't happen. Same thing with Katie. She has just barely said 2 seconds about it because I think as a mom and ultimately she wants a reconciliation for her daughter to have a reconciliation with her father. Right. And as craptastic as Tom has been to Surrey, as a woman who lost her biological father at the age of 19, to Scientology and to other things, I can say, that would be something that I would wish for as a mom and something else, even despite all of the things I went through, I would still want my daughter to have her father in her life because, whoever he is, you know what I mean? So if that meant I had to keep mum about all these other things, I would try to make that happen. You know what I mean? With conditions, of course, but you know what I mean? I would still want that for her. So I think these moms, Nicole and Katie, are trying to play the long game for their kids, which is very hard because I'm sure they have some stories. I'm sure they could, blow the lid off a lot of stuff, but they're trying to do the right thing for their children, which in the long run for them is more important than blowing up a teeny tiny religion, which is setting itself on fire.
Dumpster fire. King Shane UK. Oh boy. Hey, Aaron, did you get and look at the link I sent? King Shane, you're going to have to be a little more detailed than that. I mean, how would I know? How would I know? Nothing comes to mind, but I wouldn't know what you're talking about. But thank you for the super chat. Brandy, I work in Ann Arbor, Michigan, near the U of M campus. I think there used to be a Scientology building there. I noticed there is a street called Scio Church Road. No. Is it a thing for them to buy street names like this? That's really funny. So there used to be an org in Ann Arbor. Is Ann Arbor one of those orgs where their ideal org building is nowhere near where it used to be? Is that I get these Michigan cities mixed up, honestly. There's one of these Michigan cities where the org is no longer located in the city that the org is named after, and I can never remember which one it is. Nora, did you freeze, or are you just making a face?
I'm making a face.
I could. I thought you were frozen.
Just like this.
Nora's
No, I didn't freeze. I was just making that face.
The only
could be.
street that Scientology that I'm ever aware of.
L. Ron
Scientology
Hubbard Way.
Yeah, North Borendo. Was it Borendo or Borendo?
Berendo.
North Borendo Street became L. Ron Hubbard Way in
And
Hollywood.
every year, people go to the city
Ridiculous.
council, try to get it changed back.
Oh, really? Good
And
for them.
Scientology shuts them down because the city of
Wow.
LA people are like, we cannot stand it.
Yes.
Because there's people
wow.
that live there that are not Scientologists that, like, can you imagine doing DoorDash? And you have to type in L. Ron Hubbard Way on your
that.
fucking DoorDash, like,
I
or
know.
on your
Oh my
Amazon
God.
Prime. Like, what's your address? L. Ron Hubbard Way. Like, bleh. Like, nobody wants to come see you, your Uber driver. Where are we going?
Wow.
Ew.
Oh,
Like,
that's
oh my
so
God.
funny.
Am I going to get accosted? Will I make it off the street? Like, you probably
Oh
can't
my
get picked
God.
up.
I would imagine you wouldn't like it either.
Oh,
when
I
they're having
never-
events
that's
on there.
so
On that
funny.
road
Yeah,
too,
if
they
you live
close
on
it
L.
down.
Ron Hubbard Way, right? Anyone who ever asks for an Uber, the Uber driver's like, is this someone
I
asking?
used to live on L. Ron Hubbard Way, but I was a Scientologist. But Nora, I didn't. You're right. There were non-Scientologists. Imagine being one of those freaks that had to live there. I mean, I would.
Or the
do anything
Kaiser
to
that's
move.
there. The
Yeah.
Kaiser that's there, right? The
Yeah.
Kaiser has to be like, come see us
Yeah,
at L. Ron
sure.
Hubbard Way. Like, and
That's
people
Oh,
say no.
I'm sure
That's
that-
right. That huge.
They probably
I'm
use
sure that-
Sunset. They probably use Sunset.
I'm
as
sure
the
they do
address.
because they are on Sunset, right? And then L.
Yeah,
Ron
they're
goes
across the street of
adjacent to them.
Sunset.
But
Yeah.
the door
Well, it's close enough.
is technically on L. Ron Hubbard Way. So I'm
How
sure they
can it
use
be-
Sunset though.
It's on the other
No,
side of the
it's
street.
across the
No,
street from
there's a
Sunset.
small clinic there. I had a minor. It's an outpatient surgery building there because I had a minor surgery done at that building after I left the Sea Org. And I remember there was like an event going on and I'm walking out with like a bandage on my head. And I was thinking like, there's going to be like 20 people that are going to see me with like my head taped up like I'm from World War II, you know, and they're going to be like, oh, there goes the PTS. Like,
That was on L. Ron Hubbard Way, Nora. What you're talking
Yeah,
about? That's
like
Mount
out of the
Mission
little
Way.
Kaiser.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Lisa Marchbanks, Dragonfish, Handmade Goods. Since there's a caste system in Scientology, do you think David Miscavige believes his BTs are more important than everyone else's? Oh, and Nora, 100% is definitely a Scientology thing. I don't get it.
Ugh.
Inside joke.
I don't
No?
get it.
Would you care to explain yourself, Nora?
Do you get the joke,
What,
Nora?
the 100? No, we had a whole thing the last time that I'm trying to stop saying 100% because somebody pointed out last time that 100% saying 100%, no one else says that outside of Scientology.
That is not a Scientology thing.
Yeah.
I don't think so because my wife
think
said
it is
no,
either.
it's not.
Yeah, no.
I see
Maybe
it
it's
all over
leaked
on
out of
social media.
Scientology into the
It
regular
is one, it is
vernacular.
100% not a Scientology thing.
I
True.
said though during my son's graduation though, somebody was giving speeches. They just let children make speeches, and they did not. And I said the words, these speeches were awful. They just let randos make speeches, and I was like, nobody qual checked these speeches. And she's like, that's a Scientology thing. And I'm like, well, still, it's a valid point. Like they needed a qual check. And she's like, I'm like, it's a good word in this instance. I'm gonna have to. I'm
That
sticking
is
with it.
funny. That's
But yeah,
funny.
she will just like say that to me. She goes, "That's a Scientology word." Like,
It would be funny if Miscavige thought his BTs were somehow easier to clear than everyone else's BTs because he had.
I
better
don't think he
BTs
thinks
than
he
everyone
has
else.
them.
I know, but
Nora, I think they have a BT grounding unit at Gold. Do they not? I mean, isn't?
Oh, I don't know.
doesn't-
I was never at Gold. I was barred from there.
Me
I'm
neither.
sure.
I never. They have me. You have to get approved or whatever to go out there to do little gold films or whatever. So I never made it out there. But I remember hearing that that DM does absolutely believe in BTS despite changing the tech in every other area, and that if people are getting too re-stimulated at Gold or whatever, they have a BT grounding unit that you can hold on. And get rid
Wow.
of your freaking BTs. I'm sure
You
that's.
just
I
like
mean,
hang on to a pole.
yeah.
it's just like
apparently
metal
something like
rods.
that.
It's like rods
You
just
know what I'm talking
grounded
about,
into the
Aaron?
earth. Yeah, it's just these rods that, if I recall correctly, I think it was Mark Headley who told the story.
So ridiculous.
He had these copper rods grounded into the earth, and you'd hold them to destimulate or some shit.
That's
Wow,
so
I've never heard
Is
that
that
before.
is that true? Anybody could just
so.
go ground themselves?
That's how the story goes.
Did you have to like CSW to go rods?
That's a great question. Is it a bridge
know.
step?
Actually,
The side action?
Jeff Hawkins, if you're still in the chat, let us know.
Oh my
what the
God, I
deal,
have to know about these rods.
What
Me
was the
too.
real
I think
deal
it's true,
about
Nora.
This
the
is
BT
insane.
grounding rods?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, this is amazing. I love it.
Okay, this is Half Nelson. How can anyone be a Scientologist in those? How can anyone be a Scientologist in those
In
prior
their prior life.
if Scientology hasn't been around that long in the grand scheme of things?
It's been around
this
since
is-
the 50s. So I'm only
1950.
47. Yeah.
And you can go
So-
clear on Dianetics in 1950.
Right.
So-
So I was born in 1976. So I absolutely could have been a
Me too.
Scientologist in my prior life.
I was, Nora. I attested to past life clear. I was
So
a
did I.
Dianeticist in a past life.
High five.
Are we all? Aaron, that's the secret
Right.
to getting up the bridge, by the way. You could have just,
Right.
originated
Aaron,
that.
stop denying your true self and
I
just come
know.
out of your Scientology shell. We're all we come. I mean, the motto of the Sea the motto of the
Oh,
Sea Org
no.
is Revenemus, which
We
means
come
we
back.
come back.
Yep.
That's what it means. So he put
Terrifying.
it in the little, the laurel leaf there, Revenemus. And so he imprinted all of us baby Scientologists with the fact that we came back from birth. And then, like we were all told, and, it was told to us as children that we purposely chose these two morons as our parents. We hovered around the hospital just like is in our disembodied state, just seeking out Scientologists. Like, where are you, Scientologists? Let me find you here in this hospital, in this smoke-filled
my
hospital of the
God.
70s. Clear the smoke. Where are you? Where are you, Scientology baby body? Let me swim to you. And there you are. I'm going to
so
take
true.
Undimo Shindy IA. I've grabbed this little baby body. It's mine. And now I picked it.
I can't believe I
fabulous.
believed in it when you put it that way, Nora. Holy shit. That's
That's
exactly the
that's the
metaphysics
story
I
we
grew up in.
believed.
Absolutely.
And
Holy
we stuck
shit,
with it.
man.
It's
That's-
it's so dumb.
What the
Yeah.
hell? Oh my God. it's too
Indeed.
funny.
All right,
Yeah.
here's one for Adam. Dan Mosqueda wants to know, do you think Scientologists should be barred from a national security clearance of any type? Thinking about the requirement to get audited. Wait, thinking about the requirement to get auditing as a problem for U.S. investigators.
Do I think they should be barred? I mean, probably, knowing how ethics checks go. It didn't bar me. Personally, I had a secret clearance when I was in to be a gunner's mate. And
But that was before or
being-
after you joined Scientology.
no, it was after. I mean, I got involved in 2005 and joined in the military in 2007. And I even had put down Scientology as my religion on like the form that you have to do to get your dog tags, because they put your religion on there. And actually for me, they didn't put Scientology, they put other or something like that. But so it's not like the military didn't know that I
So the
wasn't
military
a
doesn't
Scientologist.
recognize Scientology as a religion.
Yeah, they just put me as other, even though I wrote in
I
Scientologist.
love that.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, but yeah, they probably should with the ethics checks. I mean, if you know certain information and you're in an ethics check and you're feeling obliged to have to tell these government secrets, that's kind of not good.
Well,
for
from
our
what I
national
recall,
security.
this is one of the reasons why people with special security clearances are considered illegal PCs and not allowed to get auditing, because you're not allowed to wind up in a situation in an auditing session where you're not allowed to answer the auditor's question.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also not allowed to hide behind something like a security clearance in order to not answer the auditor's question. This is sort of one of the unsolvable situations for which a
Right.
solution was being demanded. Is how can someone engage in auditing who's not allowed to answer all the questions?
For
And-
me, I was already out of the military. 'Cause I still had my secret clearance when I got out. They last for 10 years. So it always came up every A to J that I had, but it was always dismissed as being fine because I was out of the military. It was like, oh, I have a secret clearance, but it's not like I'm using it anymore. So I was always cleared to go ahead, even though I had the clearance, but because I wasn't using it, and not like I really knew anything.
So here's a perfect example. Let's say someone has top secret clearance, they're special forces, they're on some top secret mission, and they get an engram, right? They get a concussion, and then they're in a Dianetics auditing session, and they're being asked by the auditor to give every single detail of everything that happened during that incident, and they can't do that without violating their security clearance. That's an impossible situation.
Yep.
Now, that's more of a threat to Scientology than it is to the military. But
Right.
it creates an interesting situation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Aaron, remember he was always being infiltrated back in the day by government officials, you know, and he was super paranoid. And that's why the sec checks were, are you a government official? Have you, you know, because people were trying to get the scoop on Scientology too and going in there undercover.
Yeah, because the military doesn't care if you're a Scientologist. They're not afraid of you being a Scientologist because they know they're not a threat. However, Scientology is 100% of you being a military person and having those high special clearances because they know you would be specially trained to infiltrate them and they would not be able to find you out. That's the real problem because the military would be like, oh, you're a Scientology spy. We're going to we have so many techniques, honey.
Yeah.
We are going to dismantle you in about 10 seconds. Okay. We got no problems. We have places everywhere around the world we can take you and we'll figure it out. Okay. You've seen the movies. We got this. Yeah, no problem. We have no problems figuring out who you are. But Scientology is oh, hot dog, these guys are for realsies. And they've had people, fully come in. I mean, Aaron, you and I have never talked about what happened the day after we graduated Flag and the guy who left us the note in the boys' door room. Do you remember that?
Gus Jones?
Yes. Do you remember
Gus
that?
Jones from Salt Lake City. Yeah, he had been a spy the whole time.
There was an actual. We're gonna do this super quick because we have to do an entire live about it. But the day we graduated, the original Golden Age of Tech. We're just gonna drop this bomb and leave it. But the day we graduated, the original Golden Age of Tech, a guy who did the entire training with us, who had been there, left a note in the boys' dorm. It was this most heartfelt note that just simply said, "I'm so sorry. I'm a fraud. I'm an FBI agent. I was sent in to infiltrate, and it turns out you guys are really a good group of guys, and I'm so sorry. I am not who I said I was. My real name is X. I can't remember what his real name was, but I was sent here as an undercover FBI agent to infiltrate, and I cannot go back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera," and just dropped this bomb that he was not actually who he said he was. He was an undercover FBI agent. He had joined staff for over a year and had been working undercover at the Salt Lake City org, went to Flag, did the training, went through the whole training with us, and then just ran away the night after we graduated.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. It was insanity.
Holy
and then other
shit.
things happened after. One day, Aaron, you and I have to do a whole live about it. It was insane. So government agents have, in fact, absolutely infiltrated successfully Scientology more than once.
And it's weird. I mean, that would have been an successful infiltration with finding essentially nothing, right? I mean,
he found out that there was a good group of international people that gathered together to get trained.
Right.
If he had stayed, then he would have seen the unraveling of a lot of things. He should have stayed. But I think he just made friends with really cool people like us and a couple other people. And it just it made him too sad.
He was Justin Farmer's. He was Justin Farmer's roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Julie Bluestein. Any way that Tom Cruise ever leaves, or is he a lost cause? What do you guys think? Does he ever leave?
I doubt he'll ever leave. I don't see it.
I have to say no, but man, I was just talking about this with my buddy Marcus the other night. I want him to leave. And if you go back to an interview that he did before Scientology came into his life, it's hard to find, it's rare, but he does seem like an empathic person who was trying to take care of his family. He was super vulnerable in the interview. He's just totally different than the Tom Cruise we know today. So he might not be a sociopath. They make secondary sociopaths, right, Aaron, as you know, right? So if he's not, and he can break that Truman Show bubble and something bad enough happens in his life, especially with the way things are going, I never thought he was going to leave, but now I'm there's a possibility their tax exempt status might get taken away. Tom Cruise might actually leave someday too. And if he does, he can take the whole house of cards down with him. But he might be a psychopath. I don't freaking know, but I hope he does, man, because there's two things on that. One, he's not going to be able to. Can you imagine decompressing and coming to terms with what he did to Nicole and his kids and all that? I mean, that might be, he might be in too deep, like my dad was, where he can't accept that because the trauma would be too much. His head would fucking explode. There's too much damage to make up. But if he can, and he's not a psychopath and he can get out of it, I hope he does, man, because let's just say everyone would freaking win with that.
Yeah. I'll say he did show up in person for the New Year's Eve event that was being done live by David Miscavige at the Fort Harrison Hotel. So he's not distancing himself. I mean, that's 6 months ago now, but still, he was there in person.
So that sucks.
Yeah. All right. Kat, AC/DC fan, says the tide seems to be turning, and not just with Danny Masterson and David Miscavige, on a much larger scale, if you get my drift. Two that are short and one with small hands. What? Oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay. We're not getting political, though. All right. Yeah. Jolene Harris. Been trying to boycott anything that would put money in the pockets of Scientology for years. Thoughts? Is there a list somewhere it is hard to keep up with? What do you guys think about this?
Well, stay away from Narconon and Way to Happiness. We could leave a list of all their front groups that people can know. Because there's a million of them.
Which is Citizens Commission for Human Rights.
It's a good idea.
They have a lot of front groups, but they also, I mean, if you're like trying to get really into the nitty gritty, like businesses owned by Scientologists, that's a lot of businesses like ABC Mouse, for parents out there. The H2O water, what was that thing?
Right.
That was a whole, I mean, there's so many businesses that are owned by Scientologists and stuff. And then you can go into other, what?
The biggest one I found out about this week is there is a YouTube channel called Knees Over Toes.
Yeah, right.
He's a huge Scientologist.
I know.
What is this?
I know.
Knees Over Toes. Knees Over Toes. They own the gym here in Clearwater called ATG, which stands for At the Gym.
He's a big.
His name's Brett. Brett something.
Quite popular too.
Is it Brett Grace? Hold on, let me pull it up here. Brian Patrick. Brian Patrick. His wife is Alyssa Patrick. He's been on Joe Rogan several times.
Mm-hmm.
The guy makes the guy makes $3 to $5 million a month in his online business.
Wow.
And he personally donates $70,000 a month to Scientology.
That sucks.
And
minimum, right?
Well, that's just what he says he donates, you know, and but never talks about Scientology. He's one of these guys who's under the radar, like Ethan Suplee. Right. Ethan Suplee's kind of acting like he's out of Scientology. He's totally not. Yeah. So these guys, look him up. Brian Patrick, Knees Over Toes. They sell online fitness. They got an online fitness resource business, millions. It's like, I mean, that's a lot of money. It's just,
and that would be great to create a website, you know, for someone to put together with all the front groups, not just the science CCHR and stuff, but it would be really nice to know all these businesses so people can avoid them. That's a great idea.
If someone else wants to do that, that's cool. I know I'm not going to do it.
I don't have the time either, but that's a great idea.
There's already that site with members' names on there too. Any course completions.
Yeah,
maybe the same people behind that.
And by the way, he's a second gen member. He's born and raised. He's not.
Oh,
I
didn't know that.
Member.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, that is Brian Patrick, Knees Over Toes, and I saw him on Rogan. Had no idea he was a Scientologist. Okay, Brandy says, "Can we get Nora bobbleheads, please?"
Great suggestion. That would be great.
Preferably rocking a rainbow pride hat, making the peace sign and SPTV shirt. Well, Nora's just got to get a merch store going through fourth wall.
I know.
We need a Nora bobblehead. That's perfect.
Although I guess you can't. You probably can't do a bobblehead through fourth wall. I'm not in charge of bobbleheads. Yeah, bobbleheads are a pain in the butt. It's hard. Actually, I take that back. There's many vendors out there that will do bobbleheads.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
please do.
Okay, Gary Jackson Moorhead is in the chat. Hello, Jackson. My educated guess is there are 3 certain facts of life: taxes, death, and Dave only tells Tom what Dave wants Tom to know during their ride to Keebler headquarters on the Keebler short bus while they wax each other's ski poles.
Wow.
Yeah.
There goes the monetization, Aaron.
No, he said it. Now, see, Doug Jackson did it poetically.
True, but the algorithm sniffs all the shit out.
He's waxing poetic,
I
as
got
Elron
it.
would say.
Exactly. Waxing
Waxing
enthusiastic.
poetic about waxing them poles.
Heyo.
Oh my God, that's
Heyo.
funny.
Okay, Rosemary, do you think that the church has a blackmail file on Tom Cruise? And if so, would they use it in the case Tom threatens to leave the church? What do you guys think?
Of course they would have a
Probably.
blackmail file on. Every member they have a blackmail file on. All my
Yeah.
shit was pulled out when
Yeah,
I
your
left.
whole
so
PC
he's no
folder
different.
and
Yeah.
ethics folder.
That's
are
exactly. There you
blackmail
go.
files.
It's I look at it like an intelligence gathering agency. Everything that you tell them is going to be used against you. That's their blackmail file, even if you're a newbie Scientologist.
Yeah, but I think it's also worth noting that when someone is threatening is the wrong word, right? Because nobody threatens to leave
Good
Scientology.
point. It's a good point.
You just start drift. They get the sense that you're drifting away.
They
When
suggest. They make suggestions of threats.
Well, when they come to try to get you back, they tend to play the think about your eternity card. They tend to pull on the heartstrings. I can't think of an example where someone's been like, if you leave, we're going to expose X, Y, and Z. I mean, have you guys ever experienced that?
No, only if
No.
you cross that line and you become a threat and you really do leave, but not they'll, like you said, Aaron, they'll do anything to keep you in there without threatening you at all until you finally pull the trigger and go, fuck you. Yeah.
Okay, hockey, books, and storytellers. Run. Are you able to tell us ballpark figure how many people the Aftermath Foundation has helped? Doug, where's the chemist?
I can't answer for the chemist, and I don't know where he's at. I'll have a talk with them for sure. Aaron, please take the next question. Because I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. So how I describe this is every single week the Aftermath Foundation is helping someone who is at some point in the process of leaving Scientology. I think when some people ask this question, they're probably thinking in terms of money, because we've said the foundation will help people get established, get a place to live, get transportation, help them get jobs and everything, help them get flights to get out of wherever they need to get out of, to get to wherever they need to get to. But that's not the only way the foundation helps people. So I can tell you this, every single week, the foundation is helping in some way, shape, or form someone who's leaving.
That's incredible, by the way. I had no idea that there's that many people leaving. That's a good stat, man. If you have to help one person out a week, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for doing that, dude. Because that must be hard to run.
It's been very successful. It's been very successful. Our Humble Bug. Well, thank you for the super chat, Humble Bug. What's this? Ola Strazolaska. I don't know. I give up. Thank you for the super sticker. Ken's channel. I'm 1.5 hours through Adam's interview.
Bobblehead. Nice. Now we're thinking, Ken.
Do we get an Adam bobblehead if we watch all 3.5 hours?
I like it.
We need to find a bobblehead vendor that isn't so difficult to get things done through, because it would be fun. It would be nice. It'd be fun to have a whole collection of SPTV bobbleheads.
That would be funny.
Wouldn't it? It'd be great.
Yes. You can line them up against your wall back there, Aaron, beneath Marion stuff, dude.
What are they? There's those dolls, those big fun, are they called Funko Pop dolls or something, that have the big heads, the funny little dolls? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
If it was easy to get those made, it would be so much fun.
Alex can probably take care of that. I'll talk to him about stuff like that.
Nice. Angel Boostar, are there any orgs in Scotland? I hope not. There are orgs in Scotland. Yes. There's one in Edinburgh, right? For sure there are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At least Edinburgh. Wait, is that right? Hold on. Scientology org.
They have one almost
I'm sure
everywhere.
there is one in there.
Scotland. I'm just not sure if it's an org or if it's a mission or if it's one of these other funny things.
There was an org, remember, because we trained with some people from Scotland, but I think it might have been downgraded to a mission later on because it was so small. Because that was where I learned.
Mission, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can get downgraded.
Missions are privately owned,
right?
Orgs
but
are
I
owned by
think
Scientology.
there was an org. There was the Edinburgh org, because remember that was where I learned to do the pre-session in the Scottish accent, and that's still my favorite moment, where we could not understand that girl at all, and she was like, "All right, squeeze the cans, take a deep breath, hold it for just a moment, and let it out through your mouth. All right, I'm not auditing yet." And then we were all just laughing. We couldn't do the drill with her because she's like, "All right, look at the top of the page. Is there anything on this page you didn't fully understand?" We're all like, "Is this Mike Myers?" Or what's happening?
Have you ever done stand-up, Nora? Holy shit, man. Have you?
That girl was like so serious. She was so earnest. And she was like, I was like, Scottish people are gonna be like into it, but I was like, I can't. Like,
It's fucking funny, man.
she was
That's
great.
awesome. Lady Veritas. Nora.
Lady.
Uh-oh.
Nora Re True Story Time vid. I can't read. Like, okay, you read this, Nora.
Okay, regarding the True Story Time video and Tom Cruise closing down the project, is he aware of Dave Miscavige's madness? And is he acting like his minder?
If we have to decipher the comment, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Do you understand what?
Yeah,
it's
I
asking?
mean, well, of course I think Tom and Dave has slowly merged into one person over time. I mean, they're getting the same Botox treatment. They always similarly have the same hairstyle. And we've seen this over the years where they dress the same, they take on the same, to use the Scientology word, the same valence. DM's got the same motorcycle jacket. They'll get the same bikes. He has to have the same kind of like swag and all that kind of stuff. So yes, they slowly become the same person. So if Tom is doing a race car movie, then David has to have race cars. If he's doing a motorcycle movie, then David has to have motorcycles. If he's, growing his hair out for The Last Samurai, then Dave is growing his hair out. If he's chopping his hair off for Minority Report, then Dave is chopping his hair off. So I think Dave is a teeny tiny bit infatuated with Tom and is emulating the Tom Cruise-ness kind of a thing because he's jealous of Tom being the biggest movie star, on the planet, and wants to emulate himself as the biggest religious leader on the planet, which of course, as we know, Scientology is one of the smallest fringe cults on the planet and ultimately means nothing and nobody cares. So he's trying to make himself more important than he actually is.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Maria de Jesus Gutierrez. It was 2001. St. Mo's is in San Monica, California.
That was probably with Tom's kids then.
Oh.
That wouldn't have been with Keith because she wasn't with Keith then.
Interesting. 2001. When did Tom and Nicole get divorced?
Thought it was
I have
around
to-
that time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Huh?
I'll check. I don't know. I don't keep all these dates in my head.
All right, moving on. Kaz Ferns, small contribution for cookies for the SPTV pups. There you go. Awesome. Cheryl Limeade, has Scientology been able to purchase hate websites as fast as SPTV has grown? That's a good question. I don't tend to look up those things, but like for all the SPTV channels, have they purchased who is, Vanessa LaRose? Who is, Alex Barnes Ross? Who is Doug Kramer? Have you ever checked, Doug? Have they purchased that?
I haven't checked, but I think it would come onto my radar, or I would make a video about it, or someone would have sent it to me. So not yet, and I don't think they're keeping up with any of these people that have sprung out since you kind of started blowing your channel up. There's been 20 or 30, and there's no sites as far as I know yet.
Well, yeah, but even if they don't make the sites, they might just
the
purchase
name,
the domains.
That's possible. I haven't checked that.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what they say, anyways. Who cares?
It doesn't matter. John Sostovsky, do ex-Scientology members have trouble adjusting their sleep after leaving? Personally, I sleep like a baby. I wake up every 2 to 3 hours crying.
That's funny. Never heard that before. Gonna have to steal that from you, John.
That's a good joke. I like that.
Definitely.
I like that joke.
I assume that the struggle is similar to what prisoners have to adjust to when they get out of prison and have to go back to normal life.
Yeah.
And just whatever pattern they became accustomed to, I think will probably stick with them. So I don't know. Nora, did you feel you personally had any trouble adjusting sleep? Remember, leaving the Sea Org is not the same thing as leaving Scientology.
True.
And being in Scientology is not necessarily associated with having trouble sleeping.
I have a different bag of chips because I left from the RPF. So I have a lot more. I have PTSD. So my sleep is terrible. And I take special medicine to stave off those nightmares, to make me be able to sleep. Thank you, modern pharmaceuticals and psychiatry.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
There you go.
This broadcast brought to you by psychiatry.
I just want to keep those big pharma checks rolling.
Yes,
and
gotta
yeah.
get that big pharma check.
That'll keep the Scientology ad probably from popping up on your channel because I've been seeing those constantly whenever you type on a Scientology video.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to be sponsored by Big Pharma. I would love to be getting those checks that they claim that we get. I'm
Right.
searching for mine in my mailbox. Maybe someone's intercepting it. I don't know.
My bank rejected the last check. They said, "Sir, we've never seen a check with that many zeros. We're gonna have to look into
Hey-o.
this." Yeah. Stephanie Sandoval says, "Do you think David Miscavige visits Shelley?"
Good question. You don't think at
I don't-
all? Just
I
to
don't
check
think so.
on
I
her?
would
and just-
imagine they're like divorced at this point, and they're just keeping that on the DL. That's what it. I don't know. That's just my.
I
guess.
just hope she's still alive.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
they haven't just hidden that. I honestly, I hope that.
Me too.
I hope she gets out one day and she can just live a life. You know.
Yep. Andy Fabulous, pressing like doesn't do a damn thing for anything, but it makes me feel good. Like
Hell yeah.
smoking some primo int based pot. They call it Golden Era.
Nice. I'll have to get that strain. Thanks for the heads up, Andy.
Pressing the like button does do something. It doesn't do nothing.
I think you're right.
I mean, it does something. I don't know.
Who
It helps
knows?
with engagement numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Rural SD Lawyer. Is there a website that lists members and former members of Scientology? What is it? So what there
Yes.
is a database of any Scientology magazine that has published its course completions and auditing completions lists. Someone out there has, to some degree or another, compiled those names and the services that they completed onto a website. And if you just punch in someone's name, Joe Blow, and type Scientology service completions, it will bring you to that database. And I always forget the name of it, and it's not necessarily complete, but it's better than nothing, and it's reasonably complete, you know. So yeah, there you go. Rue says, "Hi, Nano Davy." All right. Lily Castle asks, "Is Reese still looking for help to write her story?" Lily, I don't know. I'm not sure. Smoky Willows, "Do you have to be an ex-Scientologist to be here?" Well, Smoky Willows, you're here.
No.
Goalie, get on that. We need to block her. No, of course not. Most people are not ex-Scientologists. No, I like it when
Harsh.
non-ex-Scientologists.
Absolutely not.
Hey, someone's
Smoky.
got to run. Of course not.
Okay, let's see. Lulu92, Scio Church Road is because of Scio Township between Ann Arbor and Dexter. Wiki says it may be based off of a Greek word, chios. Well, there you go.
And there you go.
Obi O'Brien, Nora, if the man was a narcissistic purple vegetable to me, why would I want my children to be subjected to that? What's this referring to?
Tom Cruise,
My
right?
comments about Tom Cruise. I understand. Understood, Obi.
Mhm.
We could debate back and forth for hours on that. I'm just saying, as a mom with kids, I understand their strategy on that. And as a kid of divorce, even with craptastic dads, my dad wasn't the best dad. I'd still, if he were alive, would want to see him and have conversations and want him to see my kids who are here now, who he missed out on. So understood. It just, yeah. When you're, and I don't know if you're a parent or not or whatever. Like I said, with conditions, it wouldn't just be like free reign type of situation. Like go see Fun Dad, who happens to be a movie star, and like go to his set or something. That's a much longer conversation. But yeah, understood.
So
I totally understand.
purple vegetable probably means eggplant emoji, which means
Yeah.
dick.
Yes,
There you go. You can
I
say
understood.
dick.
I understood what
Aaron.
they were saying. Yeah.
I didn't.
Right
I was
over my
like
head.
purple hippopotamus. I was like, what the hell?
No,
Okay.
I got Obi's vibe.
All right. King Shane UK. It was a wiki link on a former celebrity Scientologist. Still not enough details.
Oh, come on. That's
Still
plenty,
not
Aaron.
Enough details.
Aaron, you'll find it in your inbox later.
Yes.
Yes.
You'll
So,
find
I
it
mean,
later.
if someone sends me a link to a Wikipedia page on a former celebrity Scientologist, I'll probably just delete it. Honestly, like I can't. I mean, just say the name of the person. I mean, I don't care what Wikipedia says about anybody. Just for the record.
Maybe it
but
got
anyway.
changed or something. They're trying to like give you a hint that maybe somebody left.
Oh,
That's
maybe.
probably why they sent you the wiki link, that maybe something got changed on their wiki.
Oh, all right. We'll check it out. I'll check the emails. Jolene Harris, I'm a PO, parole officer, that monitors only sex offenders in the community. Would love to see a video about the restriction Danny Masterson will have if he makes it out of prison. Well, Jolene, it sounds like you'd be the best one to do that video, because I don't know anything about all that. But he's not making it out of prison.
No, he's not.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. SPTV, Xenu, aka Michelle Carpenter. Thanks to y'all's shoutouts last week, the SPTV notifications Discord is up from 50 to 90 members.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice SPTV.
Thank you. Yeah, I just I'm not a big I don't understand Discord.
Me neither. We have a Discord site, Aaron, but I don't understand. I just let Alex run it.
But I will tell you that in the Facebook group called Supporters of Leah Remini, we do have 35,000 members in there, and we can also like, what is this Discord for?
It's
what
for
is the Discord?
SPTV.
But what
He
is
means
it
what's
for?
it for like
What do you do
with it? What
do you do with
advantages
it?
could he have?
Gamers use Discord. I use it
There
all
you
the
go.
time with,
It's chat.
comms
It's
and you
chat.
can-
So it's
you can have
similar
chat
to your
channels,
Facebook
yeah.
TV. It's similar to your Facebook little group. It's just chat.
And yeah, exactly. You can share links, Aaron. You can
forum.
jump over on. You can check
So
it
now,
out.
hold on, educate me here. Just chat as opposed to what?
It's mostly used for like voice comm communications.
You
so
have
you
to
can
see
talk
it.
to your teammates.
It can be
and
pretty
then-
cool, but it's a whole nother avenue to open up, kind of.
But hold on, but Adam, you're talking about gaming.
Yeah.
You're talking about how you use it for gaming. I'm talking about how it's used for SPTV. When you say chat, do you mean type chat or voice chat?
Both. You can
Oh,
do
you can
both.
do both.
You have mods and every. Aaron, check out the one Alexander Barn Ross did. It's our mutual one, just to get a feel for it, and you can decide if you like it or not.
I'm guessing they have like some bot that's set up that's gonna like announce when you go live. They're
That
saying like
too.
SPTV notifications.
It's going to
So I'm
announce
guessing
it's going to announce it to 90 people.
I guess so. Yeah.
You can set it up apparently.
Whoever's
I don't
in
know
there.
how to do that, but I think you can set it up. Like Aaron, if you had a Discord or you go to this one, you can, if you have your own, I believe, you can set it up where the notifications will go out to all the members of the Discord. But I don't know how to set it up to do that.
All
It's
90
easy
of
as a
them.
bot
options.
to do it.
Yeah.
Like the
Well,
You
it can
guys can
grow.
see I
It
really
can-
don't get it. I really don't get it.
You
But
don't-
I'm happy to help it continue growing. How do we give it a shout out? Is it just called SPTV Xenu? Is that the name of the Discord server? How do we give it a shout out? Does anyone know what it's called?
I don't know, but maybe he could type in the comments right now. I'm sure that's probably what it's called.
Yes, we're happy to continue to give a shout out to this Discord server, even though none of
I
us
think they
know
said they
how to use it.
email it.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay.
email it to you.
All right, sweet. Jen W, hi from Australia. Great to see you guys. Always love the viewers from Australia. Annie Kurtz. Okay, I'll try again because I really do have a question. How much does auditing cost? Do you pay by the hour? Do you pay by the bridge level? Thank you. Love you all. So, auditing has one price at a mission, another price at a class 5 organization, and then a higher price at a class 7 organization, and then a higher price at a class 9 organization, and then an even higher price at a class 12 organization. I think the cheapest you can get professional auditing for in Scientology is something like $2,800 for a 12.5-hour block of auditing. Does that
Sounds
sound
about
about right to you guys?
12.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right at
Yeah,
the
okay,
really
maybe.
low end. It's about
Yeah.
5,000 per intensive, just to give a rough figure, because it keeps going up and up. And you can also do, because Marcus was telling me about this, how he got people into the Melrose mission, is you can give them a couple $100 for some Dianetic auditing to get people sort of introduced to auditing. But mostly it's about 3,000 to 5,000 or whatever,
It was-
6,000.
I remember it being 2,500 per intensive at Celebrity Center, and the flag was like 5,000, I
Right.
believe,
Yeah.
per intensive, which is 12.5-hour blocks.
So let's say $2,500 divided by 12.5 hours. So that's $200 an hour, and you have to pay by the intensive. An intensive is a 12.5-hour block of auditing. You have to pay per intensive. And yeah, it's pretty freaking expensive.
And they
usually
do have a
your
sliding
intensive-
scale. I don't want to encourage anybody to go pay for this, but they have a sliding scale. If you pay 12 intensives, this price goes down fairly
Yeah.
significantly.
That's right.
which is what I did.
Nice.
Nice. Hockey Books and Storytellers is back with another one. Ron, you said that everyone who appeared on Scientology in the Aftermath got a hate website. Does this include the two gentlemen who were from the Nation of Islam? Guys, I must not have watched most of season 3 or something. I did not see an episode with anyone from the Nation of Islam on it. Must have been season 3. Anyone see that?
I did see it, yeah.
Okay. So since I must not have seen a bunch of season 3, there must be a bunch of people who were on the show that I don't actually know were on the show, so I don't know if they got sites. I haven't seen any hate sites on any NOI members. Have you?
I haven't, but it's possible that they did by being on that show. I just haven't looked them up yet.
Okay.
Highly doubtful, since aren't they in like a total love fest with the Nation of Islam right now?
Yes, they are.
So
They must have been. They must have been former members.
Leaving,
Yeah.
nor the ones that left, from the NOI.
Oh, I see. Well, then, yeah. Then they're no longer members. They're not protected anymore. So
I would say if they're former NOI talking about it, the NOI is who they have to worry about, not Scientology.
Good point.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually scarier.
Oh, shit, it is. It
Yeah.
frickin' is.
Commanda 83. I was just in Ireland for 2 weeks, and the Scientologists were out in force in Dublin with their anti-psych posters. Never seen them in person before because there's no Scientology where I live. They gave me a flyer. Was there some sort of a big psych convention up in Ireland? If there was, I didn't hear about it. Posters and everything. Oh, there must have been some sort of APA convention or something.
Yeah, there you go. Probably.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some regional meeting, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah. Got to shut down the psychs.
Amazing. Yeah, nothing brings the Scientologists out to the yard
That's true. Then
more
psychs,
than a psych event.
Yeah, that's true.
Did Nora get stuck again?
No.
No, she's just got the frozen face.
You know what's happening? You're seeing my reading face. I'm behind on the comments, so I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing good in there that I'm missing. Go ahead. Sorry, I get a weird reading face apparently.
Jackson is back.
Here
JB
we
John
go.
Brousseau installed the actual ground rod at Dave's
No
desk.
way, dude.
At his desk
No
in Building
way.
50.
Are you
The-
kidding me? At his freaking desk. Can you imagine David Aaron just doing some paperwork and all of a sudden, God damn it, I need to get some BT grounding rod going shit back to work. Is that what you're talking
Probably
about?
so he doesn't have to like walk out to the public place so nobody
Exactly,
could
and be
see
affected by
when he
all
was
that.
upset, because he's never supposed to be, publicly upset unless he's putting someone's ethics in. So if he got
Yeah.
scared, he could just hold it at his little desk, like, I'm
You're not far
scared.
off because I think he said that he was afraid of other SPs around him because everybody around David is an SP. He was afraid of their BTs jumping on him. So that's probably no, seriously, that's what I heard. That's
He
why he
just
has the
cleansed
rod
himself
there.
after they
Exactly
left the
right.
room.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Wow.
The idea was started at a. Oh, sorry, man.
No, go ahead.
The idea was started at a meeting in the Cine conference room where he had the chief electrician install one 6-foot copper rod with braided copper wire. Absolute insanity.
So there is more than one. So there's one in the Cine conference room and one in his actual desk in his private office.
Incredible. Thanks for that, Gary. That's fascinating.
That's funny.
Now, people asked, "Is David Miscavige really believe in Scientology?" Doesn't something like this tell you he at least believes in the
There you
general
go.
structure of it, the broad strokes?
There you go.
I mean, come on now.
I think he really believes in it, Aaron. He just feels he's superior. He probably doesn't think he's changing the tech too much in his mind. He's just making a better version. But he grew up in Scientology and Hubbard, so I think he is a true believer on a pretty high level, even though he doesn't do the bridge.
Yeah. Jolene Harris, you can get a Scientology cross on a military tombstone.
No shit.
I did not know
That's
that.
not
either.
good.
Well, for the 3 Scientologists who are probably in
Right.
the military, I'm sure that will come in handy. Rusty says Nora's too loud, especially when she leans in. Don't listen to this black.
This is for you, Rusty.
Gosh,
That's
you
for
can't
you.
do anything right, Nora. You can't be too far away or too close.
It is
sounds
weird
right.
that when we, for the most part, when we're doing this live, you really can't hear any audio distinctions. Only sometimes.
I don't know. Whatever.
I remember Amy had a microphone that was going out of control and it was super, super loud. But for the most part, we can't tell the difference. But on the replay, you can very often tell the difference.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think Nora's too loud right now, but I guess we'll see on the replay.
Mm-hmm.
SPTV Zenu says, by the way, Doug's Discord is great. The one that
Okay.
I'm plugging is specifically for notifications when y'all go live.
Oh, good to know.
and SPTV specific discussion.
Maybe Goldie can drop a link if she's around for SPTV's Discord. That would be cool to see on the replay.
There we go. All right. Lady Veritas says, can Doug say hello to Irma? You're welcome, Irma.
Hey, lady, how are you? And Irma wants to be called by Dawn. So hello, Dawn. How are you doing? It's a long story. I'm not going to explain.
All right. Andy Fabulous. Aaron, just come to grips with the fact that you're 1,342,567 years of age. Nora is only 1,263,947 years old. But she's got a tight bod and she knows how to pick a body with hair. Nora takes auditing seriously.
Couldn't have said it better, Andy. But no, we can't talk about our case here, in or out of session. But yeah, it's well said. So funny.
I did not pay for that comment. I just thank you.
Wow.
I just want to say Aaron's bod is definitely tighter and more in shape than mine.
Not
But
these
thank you.
days. Not these days. I got a good 25 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. I could
Too
lose.
many
Too many everything.
too many dip
Jesus.
sandwiches.
Jeez Louises. Leah Lay, hey Aaron, I sent you an email with a link to a cringy Matt Rife video with Ashton Kutcher. Unbelievably tone deaf, to say the least. Oh, I did see that. Matt
I
Rife
want to see that.
is a comedian who's launching a world tour, and the promo video for his world tour had Ashton Kutcher in it, and there was a line in there. Ashton Kutcher, Matt Rife was sort of asking Kutcher if he could meet Mila. He was like, I want to hook up with Mila. And he's like, Mila doesn't like problematic F boys, except and a funny thing to say, considering, Danny Masterson. She doesn't have a thing for problematic. Well, you can say it. He's like, she doesn't really have a thing for problematic fuck boys. And anyway, that's what she's referring to.
Wow.
It was an interesting video. Do you guys know who Matt Rife is? He's a
I
stand-up comic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leah Lay. Selena Michelle says, Nora, you're awesome. I love your insight into and compassion for others.
Well, thank you.
That's sweet. Oh, it's Selena and the dog photo. There you go.
I was going to say, I wanted to give a shout out to the dog, but I didn't want to interrupt.
So one for Nora, one
That's
for
an
Doug.
adorbs dog.
So cute. Hey,
Denver Stevo says, just a reminder to swing over to Clearwater Chad or Denver Stevo after this live for the Monday night after show with SPTV's Notorious Never Ends.
nice. It's a good show. I've seen. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Denver. I'll be there.
I love it. Ron is asking, any thoughts on how the other Masterson siblings' careers might be affected by the guilty verdict?
They'll
Will it
never work
affect
again?
will it
man.
affect the future of 70s shows in reruns? Thanks, man. You'd have to think that it would have some impact on this.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody will hire them from the stigma. I mean, Jordan and Alana's career, good luck getting jobs now. I could be wrong, but would you want to hire somebody when there's all that money and when they're connected to Danny? I don't think so.
Yeah, and they were there just every day,
That's right.
I'm more worried about how it would affect the reruns and any further syndication deals. Like, could the entire show be torpedoed? Now, I mean, just like the Cosby syndication deal went kaput, right? Like, I don't think anyone's showing Cosby reruns, and
Probably not.
I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised
know.
if the same thing happened to that 70s show.
That
So-
sucked because that was a moneymaker too, man. If they don't keep syndicating it, they just lost a lot of money due to Danny's actions.
So much money.
Fuck.
Shay Anderson, love this group. Love for Mike. I want a Nora Bobble too.
Me too.
Yeah. We got to get on that.
You got to get on that, Nora.
I'm I'm
Yes, it's
googling
like
it
a
now.
man.
I will figure out. I don't know where to get a bobblehead made. Good Lord.
Selena Michelle says, previous comment, I meant to post on Nora's channel. So going again.
There we go.
There you
Just-
go.
Passing it out like Oprah today, Selena. Thank you.
Nice.
King Cobra 357. I haven't been able to watch the videos about Mike Rinder. Lost my mom back in 2018 to cancer at the age of 80. Lost a former coworker at the age of 59 to multifocal motor neuropathy related to ALS,
Sorry.
and a close acquaintance at 55 to heart issue. Well, I'm so sorry to hear about all that, King Cobra. So much. I mean, I've been getting emails like that, just tons and tons and tons of emails like that. So, yeah, that's just why it's important to me that we do everything that we can and support them in any way that we can. and we'll see. We shall see, guys.
Absolutely.
Corbett Williams, are you aware of any active Scientologist who has held elective office in the United States? You hear about Sonny Bono having been a Scientologist when he was in Congress, but I don't know. Did those two things literally overlap? Was he actually an active Scientologist while he was in office? I just don't know.
I don't know either.
There's people that
don't
get
know.
minor positions, but not obviously any
We
presidents
know
or
of
anything.
Scientologists that keep running for things and they haven't
right.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Andy Fabulous, can you imagine medical marijuana sold in the merch store?
I don't think you can legally, can you?
SPTV could be more lucrative than Scientology, and we could fair game Scientology until they cry LRH. How am I hearing my echo if we all have headphones in?
You're hearing an
I
echo?
don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think you could sell it via YouTube. I think you could sell it on your own website. I don't know. I don't know I'm in
no,
Oregon.
because you'd have to have a medical marijuana license or something.
This is why we need chemists in the chat. I'll talk to them
I don't
about
know.
it. It's funny though.
Denver Stevo, email your video best wishes cards for Mike. 10 to 30 seconds, landscape mode by June 16th to me, Denver Stevo. CatDenverStevo.com. Cat. Okay. So, look, is the email address denverstevo@denverstevo.com or is it me at denverstevo.com? Nobody knows. All right. Does anybody know? You guys don't know.
I think it says to me, and I think he meant to put at denverstevo.com. I could be wrong, but I think he just.
But I'm saying, is the email address me at denverstevo.com or denverstevo@denverstevo.com?
It's probably
I think
denverstevo.denverstevo.com, I would
there you
imagine.
go. I think
All right,
so,
there
too.
you go. That just feels right. It just feels right. Okay. Janine Mayo. Got my Team Mike mug already. Awesome. Also, why doesn't anyone talk about what happened to Shelly's mom? That's insane. Because it's already been written about and it wasn't murder. So that's why we don't talk about it. These endless conspiracy theories about Scientology having people killed. Do you know how easy it would be for Scientology to just have people killed instead of doing all the crazy, stupid shit that they do to people? It'd be so much easier just to kill us all, and they don't do it. So that's why I don't spend time talking.
Thank you for that suggestion, Aaron. Thank you.
I'm just saying, it's like, come on now. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
No. But people will go, but did you hear what they did to Paulette Cooper? And you're like, yeah, you know what they did? They didn't do? They didn't kill her. That's you want to talk about what they did to her. What they did to her was terrible, and it would have been easier to kill her, and they didn't kill her. So stop talking about what they harassing people as evidence that they kill people. Like, they don't have people killed. So that's why. Thank you. I'm not yelling at you, Janine.
Do you think that they have people's dogs killed though?
Oh,
I've heard that one before.
For sure.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not beneath them. Let's put it that way.
It's not beneath them. And also, yeah, exactly.
Because that's a mind game. Do you know what I mean? Like, mind games are not beneath them.
Right.
Absolutely not.
I definitely think they had someone kill my hedges in front of my yard. I'll tell you that much.
No, that's a mind game, man.
Yeah.
Aaron's like, fine, I didn't like him anyway. Like, saves me the.
Ola Strazolowska says, is there any Scientology presence in Switzerland? Thank you for fighting evil. So there's definitely a Scientology presence in Switzerland. Remind me, guys, there's one in Zurich, right? Is there one in Basel?
I think so.
There's definitely at
there
least
used
one.
to be those three for sure. Maybe not Geneva anymore. I don't know. But yes, Basel and Zurich. Those are the two I remember.
Yavel. Okay, Elsie, would Tom Cruise ever take over Scientology if David Miscavige died? No. Shelley probably would, right?
That's his dream, though.
I think that's an actual possibility. I don't think he would run it, but he might be in command and then have a very qualified Sea Org member, like a Pat Nanny broker type thing, take over. But I think, like Nora said, that would be his dream, probably.
I mean, I've said it before. Tom Cruise wanted to join the Sea Org, and he was told no because they needed him to continue being the biggest movie star on the planet. He wanted to join the Sea Org, and they told him no.
Story too.
Wow, that's incredible.
So, like, when are we talking? When did Tom want to join the Sea Org?
He wanted to join the Sea Org in the 90s. He wanted to join up and like be DM's like right hand man. Him and DM running Scientology side by side, clearing the planet.
He wanted to stop being a movie star?
Yeah.
I think I've
Yeah.
heard
I always
that
took
before,
that as a
too.
sales pitch for the
No,
series,
100%. Oh, absolutely. He was
I
ready
believe
to
it.
put on the
believe
uniform
it.
and do the EPF and go. He was going to do it. And he was told no. He had to go continue being the greatest movie star that's ever been so that he
And-
could promote Scientology. And look what he's doing. He's hanging on the side of fucking airplanes. Now he's going to go to outer space. I mean,
Where'd that information come from?
Good question.
that's from the president's office.
Well, I'm saying so
And I
saying it
heard
was
it through
just
CC.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
don't know how true it
that's
is.
facts. That's facts. They had to talk him off a tree because
but
he was
who-
like,
but
he
you're
saw
saying-
the Sea Org
okay,
pitch
but,
movie.
okay. But
Yeah.
I'm just asking. The information came from someone in the president's office.
Yeah. I mean, he saw the recruitment video because they were never showing
then-
it to him because he's not
okay,
supposed to be recruited.
But the information is being shared by people for what purpose?
To basically be like, he's the most dedicated Scientologist on the planet. Like, he was so dedicated, he wanted to join the Sea Org, and he was
I
told
believe
no.
it.
No, but I'm saying, is this what recruiters are saying this to people?
That's how
Oh
I
no!
heard it.
This was shared with us in the Sea Org. I mean, I don't know how Adam heard it. He probably heard it. Is part of? Did you hear that as part of your
Yeah, as
recruitment
part of
or
the
part
sales
of?
pitch.
I've heard it, and I
Right.
wasn't even in
Sea
the
Org,
Sea
yeah.
Org. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Christopher Green R says, have you guys ever thought that maybe David Miscavige doesn't want to divorce Shelley Miscavige because he may have to disclose earnings and she's entitled to alimony? No. They don't do that shit in the Sea Org. You don't do the whole alimony and disclose earnings things. That's not how divorce works in the Sea Org.
I also don't think that David Miscavige discloses all that income to the IRS
Yeah, great point.
Oh, you
I
don't think so?
either. I don't.
Why
think
wouldn't he
so.
though? Why wouldn't he?
because I think that he probably has an offshore account in the Caribbean somewhere, and he
Yep.
probably discloses $50 a week, like a good little Sea Org member. Let's be honest. Come on, Aaron. Let's be honest. You think he's disclosing
That's what Hubbard
he's
did.
making six-figure income as the religious leader of Scientology?
I mean, at the time, it was definitely being disclosed because it was during the IRS period. It was being during the
Maybe
IRS
that's
workout
why.
period. So instead of reducing Miscavige's income, he actually gave everyone else. He gave a whole bunch of executives a meaningful salary so that it could just be
that's
reported
news
all,
to me. Like Guillaume and all those guys and stuff in Heber.
a whole bunch of int guy, a whole bunch of all the
Oh.
international management executive committee guys, so that it would all be on the up and up, and he'd be
I got
justified in
you.
getting his pay.
I
and
didn't know
everything.
that.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. So, but no, I'm saying this would not be why they don't get a divorce, because the Sea Org, there's no alimony in the Sea Org. That doesn't even come up. Okay, Elizabeth Marino. Sorry, I meant that you guys believe David Miscavige when he claims Tom Cruise wanted to join the Sea Org, and knows that. Oh, and when Dave claims that Tom knows David Miscavige is abusive. To me, it sounds like manipulative BS. I mean, I'm open to the possibility that Dave just wants people to know that Tom knows all this shit. But Mike and Mark and Claire and all the others they believe that Tom really does know this stuff. Now, is that because Dave just says that? I don't know. We'd have to revisit that and ask that question. But what do you guys think? Could this just be a way of Miscavige being manipulative and being like, yeah, Tom's got my back, Tom knows about everything, or what?
Nora, what do you think?
I think he knows all the things. That's just me personally. I don't think there's
Yeah.
any secrets from him. They're besties. I think they
I'm
get together and have a
inclined to
little
think he does
sleepover,
as
like
well.
little bunk beds, and tell each other secrets, like
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake at the camp
Oh my
thing.
God. That's exactly
That's
how
what
I
I
see them. They're one and the same.
What do you think, Adam? I mean, you were in the Sea Org at CC. You know,
Well, I don't know. I would imagine this is such a tough one. I mean, well, Aaron was saying earlier, you'd have to be a psychopath, really. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine maybe he knows some stuff, but just doesn't know the whole truth. Or maybe David Miscavige, being his best buddy, is just, justifying some of these things or giving a different perspective that makes it look different or something. I don't know.
I
There's
think
just
he's
so many
definitely
different
manipulating him.
possibilities.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I guess I don't understand the question that he's just making up that Tom wanted to join the SO as part of this question. I don't think that would be any big deal. I wanted to frickin' join the SO. I just couldn't get up my acting career. And I could totally see Tom. Before I made it in Hollywood, every other day they were hitting me up to join the Sea Org. Like, kid, you're getting old. You're never going to make it. Just fucking sign. And that was the only thing that kept me from signing, because I wanted to be in the Sea Org too. I looked up to him and I felt like a piece of shit just being a public, selfishly pursuing my dreams. So Tom Cruise is gung ho. He wanted to be a freaking preacher when he was a kid. I'm sure he
That's
wanted to
true,
join the
yeah.
Sea Org. I don't know why there would be any controversy over that at all. I totally believe that that's the case. And Nora said
wonder
it
if
was in
he-
the 90s, right? You know, before kind of when his movie star was kicking off his career, Nora, right? So yeah, I'm sure he was. Of course.
So
he
at
wanted to be there.
early 90s was already what, Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
Probably about then. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could give up a career to join the Sea Org. I'm thinking of that one gal who got me out to the freaking free wins on this bullshit thing. She was going to be a big movie star. Someone.
Yeah, but Ari, I mean, at that point, Tom was an enormous movie star. He wasn't just
Mhm.
like a minor movie star.
Wasn't it
you
like
know
the
what I mean?
like 1990 when Top Gun came out, right?
Yeah, he was
Something like
kicking
that?
massive ass, and he probably wanted to join.
I mean,
join the Sea Org to kick even more ass because that's the real purpose, not being a movie star.
right.
They play on that too.
Top Gun was 1986.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I
So-
was 10 when that movie came out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's say this is M. B.
Oh, thank you.
Mirkwood.
Sounds right.
MB
It's a
Mirkwood.
very, very cute dog.
Good Monday evening, all. Just picking my dog for Doug. Keep up the good work. You guys rock. Nice.
Thank
Gary
you.
Meek. Nora, please say, all right, squeeze the cans again.
In
All
Scottish.
right, squeeze the cans.
Stop. That's fucking great, man.
Angel Boostar.
That's a fantastic Scottish accent. Holy shit. I could listen to you say that all day, Nora. That's hilarious. One more time.
All right, take a deep breath, hold it for just a moment, and let it out through your mouth.
Fantastic.
I couldn't sit there. I was dying.
Oh, I
doing
wouldn't
that
sit
in
there.
the-
That's too funny.
She was
Holy
great.
So I don't
felt
remember
bad.
a Scottish person. I
You
just
don't
remember this really.
remember her? She had like this little bush of red curly hair. She was amazing. She was great. And then we all just were sitting there laughing and like we just were all FNing the whole time. Like it was ridiculous. And she couldn't get any M4s done. And she was like, yeah, guys, I'm trying to do an M4 here. I can't get any reads. This is just crazy. I'm trying to do the drill. Come on now, I gotta get a read here to get a pass from these guys. They're trying to watch me get a read and y'all are
my
FNing.
God.
And it was like she was
Fennin?
pissed. She was just
Holy
like
That's so funny, man.
because we were just laughing and we couldn't take it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I just remember the really small lady from Wales, and I remember the Welsh.
Oh
accent.
man,
I
that
didn't-
Welsh
I,
accent too.
I didn't know they spoke their own language in that tiny little country, and I was like,
Right.
oh my god, what is that? I was like, what are they saying? I can't understand them. I was like, they're speaking another language. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love the Welsh accent.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have here? Denver, Steve-O. Join us on June 26th, immediately following this live stream, but on June 26th, for a very special 10-hour chatathon, up all night for the love of Mike, with the SPTV Never Ends and a night full of special guests. How about that? Wild. Super wild. All right, Kitty and Lou, we need a Nor-Aaron moron. I can't. We need a Nor-Aaron moron would be a rant video with you two funny ranting about dumb Scientology stuff that makes you go,
That would be very funny.
all right. A Noron.
That's Aaron
Noron.
and Nora mixed
Oh,
together.
like
A Noron.
moron. A Noron.
a Noron.
Oh, I get it. That's
I
actually
got
pretty
it.
funny.
I got it.
He didn't mean you're a moron. He was just putting the two together.
Summer Moon. A lot of people use Discord. I use it for work. If you don't use it, it's just a chat, but thousands of people who are not on YouTube will get notifications and discuss Scientology BS or know about SPTV through it. No, I know it's huge. I've just never been able to figure it out. Like someone put me into a Discord server and I was like, I've never felt so stupid in my life. I was like, I have no idea what's happening. I don't know how to interact.
You can
I
get the
don't
hang of
want
it if you
to.
spend a little bit. I feel you on that.
Yeah. Okay, Courtney Thavet. When are we going to get a new rendition of Brisbane's famous song, Oh, a Candy for My Love? I've asked her to do a new one and she won't do it. So probably not soon. Denise Locker. Tom Cruise is not the richest actor in the world. Stop giving him so much credit. He's third behind Tyler Perry and Dwayne Johnson.
I don't think he's the richest. I think he's just one of the most popular in the world. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
not,
true.
not for sure. Definitely not the richest.
Joshua Cox. Adam, I'm active duty Navy. What was your rate? I'm a GM2.
I was sick. I was also a GM. I was a gunner's mate.
What was your rate?
That's GM. Yeah, is my rate. So in
says
the Navy, we call it like Army has like MOS. Navy calls it your rate, like what your job is. So my job was gunner's mate or GM. So he's a GM too. It means he's a second class gunner's mate.
But what were you?
A gunner's mate as well.
Were you also
G-
were you a 2 or were you a
Oh,
3?
gunner's
or-
mate, third class. Sorry. Yeah,
Oh, is that
GM.
higher or lower?
it's lower. Third,
Okay.
second, and then first, and then you get up into chief.
I got you. It goes 3, 2, 1.
All right, cool. Jolene Harris, need a plush of the first SP dog for the pet lovers. Oh, we do need a plush, a
Yeah.
Goliath plush. That would be amazing. I'll see what I can do. I haven't seen that on the Fourth Wall platform, but I'll try to figure it out.
Aaron, we haven't seen Goliath for a while either. How's he doing, man? He's
doing great. He's just I don't record in my house anymore, so he's not over here.
understood.
Joe Virus, we need an SPTV versus Scientology action figure set. Of course, the DM and David Miscavige and Tom Cruise figures would have to be life size to be noticeable. Oh yes, I get it. That would be really funny. Andy Fabulous, can't have a Nora bobblehead. She always has her hand on her chin. Maybe something just as pronounced could bobble. Shelley's frozen in a 50-gallon barrel. Wow, this comment's all over the place.
Andy, no soup for you. That's what I have to say.
Silver Dragon, as long as Scientology doesn't leave a horse head in your bed.
Good point. That's from
The Godfather.
There you go.
Yeah. An offer he can't refuse. Jennifer L. Tom Cruise is probably jealous of little Davy that he can't beat people up in real life and get away with it. That's a possibility.
I mean,
Lil
he
Cap-
beats up people on screen for money, so he does get away with it.
That is better.
It's not real life.
It's true.
But is it? Have you ever been stage slapped? That shit hurts.
I have. I've actually been not the recipient end so much as accidentally getting too into the scene and making my scene partners fear for me.
Yeah,
That's another story
I've
for
been
another
on the
time.
recipient end. That shit's bullshit. There's nothing stagey about it.
That's true.
Yeah, it's BS. That shit hurts.
But he wants to fucking beat people in real life, but he probably is jealous because Miss.
I mean, he's run. He's done his Tom Cruise run and gone and saved people from burning shit. And, so who's to say he hasn't, tried to karate chop somebody and we don't know about it.
And in his mind, it is real life.
Is less
So
money.
in
I don't know.
his head, he really is kicking ass and saving.
Now he's getting old. He's breaking stuff and, he's fragile.
It's not going to stop him from doing Top Gun 8 or
oh,
Mission
God,
Impossible
please.
8.
Can we
It's
not?
still-
Can we just not?
I don't want to see it, but Tom did with the last one when he was 50-something. He broke his freaking ankle.
Maybe
jumping
that's the
across that
space
thing.
one. I don't know. We just
Oh,
need to
right.
not.
That is. Shit. Jesus. It never ends.
All right, Chow Yun Smut says, when I met Tom, it was 1996, and he was an entitled douche rocket even then. Yeah.
Well, he's a tiny douche rocket. Let's be clear. He's
Yeah.
not very tall.
Kenny, the editor. In Leah's book, she said she was on a plane going home from the Cruise Holmes wedding, and Leah asked, how was their mom? And one of the kids said, Mom is a frickin' SP. Yeah. So I would. Here's what I wonder: what in the kids' minds, what were they told Nicole did that made her an SP? Like, did they really tell the kids, your mom tried to get your dad out of Scientology? That's possible that they could have been told something like that, right? Because otherwise, what has she done?
I can just
Just
tell you
make
at
shit up.
CC,
Just make shit up.
as soon as Nicole was being written out of the story, we were told to never mention her name.
Wow.
We were told to
Wow.
not talk about her. She did not exist.
Wow.
Like literally. And then when I worked with those two twice, and I was specifically told to listen if they were talking about their mom, and find out what they were thinking about their mom and report on that.
Wow. Or
Not to tell them anything specifically about their mom, but just to listen if they were talking about that while we were in our word clearing session.
Wow,
You
that's
know.
crazy.
But that's, don't talk about it.
Okay. Fat Cats Heaven says, Nora, can you please say, I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. We're already at
Pretty
war,
good,
man."
Aaron. Shit, man. You guys could do good acting.
Oh my God. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. We're already at warp 8.
There you go.
That is
Oh
fucking
my
funny,
God, you
man.
guys.
Spot on.
King Shane UK, is Travolta irrelevant now in Scientology's grand plan?
It's not irrelevant.
No.
You don't think so?
He's relevant.
No, absolutely not.
He's there, isn't he?
No, he's not doing anything. He's
I don't
just
know, is he?
he's John Travolta. Nobody cares. He is not doing any movies. He's not doing anything. He's just going to continue to say nice things because he's a nice guy. He's John Travolta. Nobody cares about him in the grand scheme of movies. He's going to keep doing another Saturday Night Fever revival and keep wearing weird wigs in his movies and keep getting accused of being gay constantly because he is. And it's just like he's going to go live his sad life now that his wife is dead. And hopefully maybe come out of the closet one day. He's just a nice guy who keeps covering up crimes of a cult that he's involved in. And hopefully one day he wakes up.
Well said.
I don't know. That's it.
Indeed. Denver Stevo is back with more regarding Mike Rinder Best Wishes videos. The email is me at. It's challenging to sneak the email address through the super chat censors. Okay. I mean, okay. So it is me. So me at denverstevo.com. Huh, pretty simple.
There you go.
Ariel Cereal. Goliath Plus, take my money. Yeah. And Gigi says, you guys are so much fun to watch. Thank you so much. Did LRH come to with Scientology after having laughing gas? Did
That's a
LRH
funny question.
No, LSD.
come up with Scientology?
No, he had a dental extraction, and he probably had laughing gas. And this is when the smorgasbord of knowledge was downloaded from the Akashic records, and he suddenly decided to become a cult guru. That's what he says happened. So she probably wants to know: did he come up with it during the laughing gas, the dental extraction incident? Is
So,
that what you're
Doug,
asking,
I've heard this story as well, and I cannot recall where the story was told because it's certainly not in Dianetics, right?
I believe it's part of his official biography, and if not, it's in plenty of books, like probably John Atack's book and Russell Miller's and such. This is common knowledge that he either talked about this or this may or may not have happened. But
It might
that's
be in the
lore.
Phoenix lectures.
Does he talk about it, Nora?
I think
Himself?
it's probably somewhere in the Phoenix lectures that it's probably in the early books or way early
Right.
lectures that he talked about that stuff, and definitely on the road when he was talking about it as like lore. Like I'm sure he talked about the story early on and then he stopped telling it because,
Maybe it wasn't true.
can't give away too many secrets. But as we all know, he was doing LSD on the boats when he was researching the OT levels. That's why you can't do
Yeah.
LSD as a SEERG member.
I've never heard that. Where'd you hear that?
That's probably
From people on the
true.
boats. That's why as a SEERG member you can't do LSD because why get the fast route to the OT levels if you can pay him money?
Plus,
Where
where
did you hear that though?
Because he's a con man. So
I said where? I said where did you?
Where did I hear that?
originally?
From
I've
people
never
who were
heard
on
that.
the boat with him and stuff because he was tripped out of his
he was
mind.
always on
Also, it was
drugs, Aaron.
it was the
Always.
gold. It was a gold expedition to like treasure hunt. It had nothing to do with researching things. He
Right,
was
right.
broke and he was
Mission
tax
at a time.
evading in 2 different countries.
Right?
Oh, you're talking about the mission into time.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he was on
where he was
every drug
researching
known
also
to man.
OT levels. So
Okay, let me just replace this light. Keep
oh my
talking
god,
about.
Aaron's light was going on. But I also have to go soon because I have to take my mom back to the airport. But
Sure, you got to check in with Aaron. Whatever you need to do. But yeah, that part where him coming, yeah, he was on every drug known to man, Nora. I mean, he talks
Oh,
about
yeah.
the pinks and grays and shit, and it's even in his diary. He was so amped up on drugs constantly. And
well, that's why he
drinking,
was so
too.
anti-drugs.
I think Nora. I also think.
Well,
it's
also, I mean, let's be
possible-
honest. Let's disclaimer: let kids don't just randomly do drugs, please. I
Yeah,
mean,
correct.
like,
I think
let's
part
not,
of that though.
Let's not just be like, "Hey, drugs." Like,
If you have people smoking pot and dropping acid and having the right trip, I think that would extract him from Scientology too. So I think a lot of drugs were outlawed because he doesn't want people leaving the mind control. Plus, he doesn't want
Well,
people.
yeah.
It's do as I say, not as I do. So he was doing every drug known to man while trying to. It's a way to control people, control their sex, control their what they can eat, what they can inhale, etc.
mhm. Exactly.
All right, last one here. Steve Britton. Assuming Travolta is closeted, the chance of
He
him
is.
coming out is about 0, as long
Mhm.
as he remains a Scientologist.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, without question.
coming out of anything.
Nora, do you think he would even care? It has to be on his radar that he's perceived that way with or without Scientology. So they're not using that as blackmail material. And surely he would be aware that that's not a big deal. He's just a believer in Scientology, right? That's not keeping him in there in any way, shape, or form. Do you think it is?
I think everything's keeping him in.
Including not coming to terms with who he really is.
I think he's a complete believer in all the things. I mean, he claims it saved his life, and he's a very loyal person. So he's not going to turn on something that he's been loyal to now for 40 plus years.
Great point.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So let's call it a wrap.
That was awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on a number Monday Night Live for SPTV. And actually, before we go, let me just plug everyone's channels again. On the bottom left, you can subscribe to Adam on YouTube at Adam the Angler. On the bottom right, we have Nora Ames. You can subscribe to Nora at Oh No Nora. And where's Doug's? Subscribe to Doug on YouTube at Dazed But Not Confused. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there with us, guys.
Thanks, Aaron, for having us, man.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, oh, dancing for my love, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not,